Chapter 1608. It seems like they've been preparing for the past few days. The people they found should be quite powerful. Knight Sorrow thought for a moment and knew the problem. That should be the case. Then, what else does young master need this subordinate to do? Ghost Monkey asked with a very respectful attitude. Go back first. Stay in Guanyu Mansion if you can. If you can't, come to my place. Since you've made a heavenly oath to follow me, I'll treat you well. Knight Sorrow looked at Ghost Monkey and said. This subordinate understands. Many thanks to young master's elixir. This subordinate has almost recovered. Ghost Monkey cupped his hands towards Knight Sorrow and Datura. Okay, you can go. Knight Sorrow waved his hand. As for Ghost Monkey's arrangement, Knight Sorrow felt that it was more appropriate to leave him in Guanyu Mansion as he could obtain more information. Knight Sorrow recognized Ghost Monkey's strength as a heaven monarch. There were only 2 or 3 heaven monarchs in the primal chaos realm that could compare to him. As for the fact that his avatar was destroyed and his soul was incomplete, the chances of him entering the Emperor realm was small. This was not important. Because even if his soul was complete, how many people could enter the Emperor realm? In the vast celestial realm, there were less than 1 in a billion Emperor realm cultivators. This guy is quite sensible. He's not as annoying as before. Datura said with a smile. He's also a talent. Otherwise, Guanyu Mansion wouldn't have sent him to fight with me. It's his bad luck to meet us. Knight Sorrow smiled. He knew that his appearance had changed the fate of some people. Of course, there were good and bad. After chatting with Datura for a while, Knight Sorrow entered the 8-dragon cauldron to refine some elixirs and forge some mainstream swords and sabers. The Celestial Master Pavilion's business was good, so he had to prepare some supplies. After refining for a night, eating breakfast, and cultivating his spear arts, Knight Sorrow brought Datura and the others to the Celestial Master Pavilion and handed over the newly refined elixirs and weapons to Heaven Monarch Lin Mu. While Knight Sorrow was chatting with Heaven Monarch Lin Mu, Fatty Shen came. Knight Sorrow, I haven't seen you in days. Come to my place for a drink. Haha. You seem to be in a good mood. Is this the time to blow your beard and glare at me? Knight Sorrow looked at Fatty Sheng. Of course not. During that period of time, I really lost a lot. However, as time passed, I kept my eyes open. Now, I have already broken even and made a small profit. Fatty Shen said with a smile. Under Fatty Shen's invitation, Knight Sorrow and the others went to Fatty Shen's restaurant. Fatty Shen had arranged for a table of the best dishes. To be honest, I'm very grateful to you. It's not easy to get out of this pit. Also, don't fight if you can. You don't lack resources, and you have a family business. There's really no need to fight to the death. There are some people we can't afford to offend, so it's fine to hide. Fatty Shen looked at Knight Sorrow and said. He knew about the conflict between Knight Sorrow and Yuan Ji. He wanted to persuade Knight Sorrow to take a step back. X looked at him. Our edition EF Chapter 2, L. Thank you for the reminder. Knight Sorrow will remember it. I'm very sorry about the shop. Knight Sorrow smiled. He knew that Fatty Shen was speaking from the bottom of his heart. No, you don't need to apologize. You bought it at a fair price. Because of these Saint Spirit stones, I was able to make a comeback and earn back what I lost. If you want to open a pawn shop, you can just find a place to do it. Fatty Shen shook his head. After chatting with Fatty Shen for a while, Knight Sorrow returned to the backyard of the Celestial Master Pavilion. He entered the 8-dragon cauldron and sped up time. He finished the 2 custom-made orders for Lin Mu. Master Knight, your refining speed is really fast. Lin Mu said after arranging the things. Lin Mu, you know that I've offended a lot of people. You guys are fine here, but the people around me might be threatened, so Hong Yi can't stay here. You can have Lu Yun send the custom-made orders to the mansion. When you're free, you can come to the mansion to drink tea with me. Knight Sorrow said to Lin Mu. You're right. We're people who make a living in ethereal imperial city. The other party won't make things difficult for us because of your hatred. If it's like this, then it'll really be a mess. Lin Mu said with a smile. Knight Sorrow nodded and then returned to the mansion with Datura and the others. Young master, the other party won't touch Lin Mu, so they won't touch us or Lan Ning. I'll help you take care of the shop later. Hong Yi said after making a pot of tea. It's not the same. You guys are my family and friends. If they capture you guys to threaten me, then I have to accept it. If they touch the people who take care of my business, then I won't be polite and will take revenge. Therefore, the other party won't do such a thing. Knight Sorrow said. If it was a business attack, then Yuan-Ji's business was much more than Knight Sorrow's. Therefore, Yuan-Ji definitely wouldn't make such a move. Hong Yi nodded and didn't say anything else. In the evening, Fu Wu came to inform Knight Sorrow that a heaven monarch under Yuan-Ji had challenged Knight Sorrow to a battle. It was a heaven monarch called Zhu Long. The blood battle platform didn't have any information. Only those who had participated in the blood battle platform's battles would be collected by the blood battle platform. I accept. When is the time? Knight Sorrow thought for a moment and nodded. You set the time. Now you have the final say. Fu Wu said. Knight Sorrow then told him the time. The time was set for tomorrow evening. Since the other party made a move, then he would accept it. After getting Knight Sorrow's decision, Fu Wu went back to make the arrangements. Knight Sorrow, the other party knows that you are strong, but they still want to challenge you. This means that they are confident. This time, they have prepared for a long time. You have to be careful. Datura was a little worried. Don't worry about me. My battle strength has improved a lot recently. I can even fight Thearchs, let alone heaven monarchs. Knight Sorrow smiled at Datura. In the city lord residence, Tsang Ning sat in the courtyard and pondered. She had already received Fu Wu's report and knew that Knight Sorrow was going to fight. She was also worried about Yuan-Ji's hidden moves. The unknown was the scariest because there was no way to prevent it. On the other hand, the other party was prepared. It was like fighting a blind man with his eyes open. Tsang Ning had seen Zhu long before. She couldn't detect anything. This meant that he had a secret technique that could isolate him from detection. This also meant that he was strong. Tsang Ning felt that this situation should be stopped because she felt that it was dangerous. But if she wanted to stop it, she would have to find the Battle Emperor. But she didn't want to. She was a little hesitant, so she paced back and forth in the courtyard. Just as Tsang Ning was pacing back and forth, a figure appeared in the courtyard and gradually solidified. Lord, why are you here? Tsang Ning was a little surprised to see this somewhat absent-minded figure. Just now, I casually scanned with my soul power and found that you were uneasy. This shouldn't be the case, so I came to see what's wrong. Why are you so anxious? The figure asked. He was the ruler of this territory, the ethereal Battle Emperor. Chapter 1609. Then tell me about it. You haven't been to my place for a while. After the figure sat down, the energy around her dissipated. She was a tall and slender woman wearing a long golden robe that trailed the ground. Look at section number 0 of the chapter of the correct version. Her lips were red, her face was delicate, and her eyes were watery. Her hair was coiled on top of her head, and a jade hairpin hung down to her forehead. I'm worried about someone's safety. I don't know if I should let him continue fighting or ask you to stop him, Tsang Ning said. Sit down and tell me the details. Do you still care about someone's life? Ethereal Battle Emperor glanced at Tsang Ning. My lord, his name is Knight Sorrow, a deluxe merit supreme saint. He encountered some things after coming to Ethereal Imperial City. He's been fighting against them. This time, he might be in danger, Tsang Ning said. Yi Shan. Some time ago, Elder Yuan came to me to ask for instructions. He said that he planned to invite this person to join the city lord's mansion. He told Guanyue Mansion, Sky Sun Valley, and Shadow Mansion to not seek revenge on Night Sorrow. I agreed. Why isn't it over yet? Ethereal Battle Emperor frowned. It's not over yet. That day, after Night Sorrow fought his opponent in the blood battle arena, Grand Elder asked him to join the City Lord Mansion. If he didn't, he would be killed. But that's not right. If he doesn't cultivate his virtue, he won't be able to become a deluxe merit supreme saint. If he were to be humiliated and forced to join the City Lord Mansion, he wouldn't be able to face his strong heart. That's impossible. Coincidentally, he was friends with me, so he joined the blood battle arena. This situation made Grand Elder want to kill him. He's already sent a few heavenly lords to the blood battle arena, Tsang said. Elder Yuan told me that he's a deluxe merit body cultivator, so I didn't pay much attention to him. A deluxe merit body is nothing. Just pay attention to it. But a deluxe merit supreme saint has to be taken seriously. The conflict is still very serious. No wonder Elder Yuan won't let it go if you interfere halfway. Ethereal Battle Emperor shook his head. I didn't interfere. Yuan Jixin didn't follow the rules. Night Sorrow had just arrived at Ethereal Imperial City not long ago, and this subordinate had already met him. Apart from his own value, his subordinate admired him very much, so he befriended him and opened a shop with him to do business. How could Yuan Ji not know? It's not appropriate to go to his lordship and ask for an imperial edict instead. Tsang Ning's heart was filled with anger when he said this. So that's how it is. You're not bad. You have foresight. The deluxe merit grand sage cultivates his heart and morals. His soul and Taoist heart are flawless. Using force won't work. Elder Yuan's arrangement is indeed inappropriate. Tell me about the current situation. Ethereal Battle Emperor nodded to Tsang Ning. Wufeng, his lordship should know that Wufeng and Night Sorrow are brothers. Wufeng and I are friends. When Night Sorrow was in danger, I let him join the blood battle arena as a guest elder. However, Yuan Ji still sent a sovereign-level assassin to assassinate him. More importantly, he invited a heavenly lord to challenge Night Sorrow. This heavenly lord has a very strong murderous aura. I tried to check, but I couldn't find out how strong it is. I was worried that Night Sorrow would be in danger. I wanted to stop it, but I didn't think it was appropriate, Tsang Ning said. Well, you don't think Night Sorrow is capable? Ethereal Battle Emperor looked at Tsang Ning and asked. He's very strong. He killed Yang Tianlia's son. When Yang Tianlia's son and Gong Yufan's daughter each brought 2 heavenly lords to attack him, he killed them instead. Out of the 6 heavenly lords, only Gong Yufan's daughter and guards escaped. The sovereign-level assassin sent by Yuan Ji didn't have the upper hand in the battle. This time, I think his opponent must have a very strong hidden hand. Besides, he has fought more than 10 battles in the blood battle arena. His opponent knows him, but he knows nothing about his opponent, Tsang Ning said. When will the battle begin? I'll go take a look. I've seen the body of merit before. The merit saint and merit supreme sage are only recorded in the ancient books. I'll go take a look, Ethereal Battle Emperor said. This evening, his lordship. Have some tea first. Later, we'll take the teleportation formation and go directly to the top of the blood battle arena to watch, Tsang Ning said. It's rare for the merit supreme sage to appear in the ethereal dynasty. Besides, I'd like to see the person you admire, Ethereal Battle Emperor said with a faint smile. For countless years, nothing could attract her attention and interest. Even when the elders of the City Lord's mansion were fighting fiercely, she couldn't be bothered. Now, she suddenly had the idea of making a move. When evening came, Night Sorrow led Datura and the others out of the mansion. They took a beast carriage and went to the blood battle arena. Datura and the others went to a private room. Night Sorrow went to the participant's seat and sat down. Not far from him was an old man in black. He couldn't feel the flow of energy from the old man, but there was a murderous aura rushing in all directions. Night Sorrow knew that this was his opponent. Ning accompanied Ethereal Battle Emperor and took the teleportation formation to the top of the blood battle arena. Find yourself a chair, Ethereal Battle Emperor said, and sat in the seat where Ning used to supervise the blood battle arena. Little Star went to get another chair for Ning. Ethereal Battle Emperor released his soul spirit power through the crystal window made with a secret technique and probed Night Sorrow, and the old man in black, Zhu Long. Night Sorrow, who was sitting upright, suddenly felt something strange. Someone was probing. After Night Sorrow knew what was going on, he circulated the energy in his body and activated his leakless true body. At the same time, he looked at the highest pavilion. He felt someone was probing him, and the soul spirit power came from the top of the pavilion. The Ethereal Battle Emperor stood up and looked down. His eyes glinted. My lord, what's going on? Ning also noticed Night Sorrow's gaze. His potential is boundless. The sovereign attribute is void. His body contains the energy of destruction, time, space, and death. His divine sea has the light of merit, which prevents probing. The blood in his body is surging like the tide. He has the power of a heaven monarch, Ethereal Battle Emperor said. My lord, what do you mean by surging like the tide and having the power of a heaven monarch? Ning asked in confusion. It means that he has cultivated his body. The strength of his body is infinitely close to that of a heaven monarch. He can fight a heaven monarch without using his vital energy. Ethereal Battle Emperor sat down again. I still don't know. When he fought, he only used the energy of death and time. He didn't use anything else. How can he have two sovereign attributes? Ning was shocked. Every generation has its own talents. Since he was able to become a virtuous great sage, he naturally has something that ordinary people can't compare to. Having two supreme attributes is indeed very shocking. They are pure supreme attributes, not side branches, Ethereal Battle Emperor emphasized. My lord, we have to protect this person. If something goes wrong, it won't be worth it. Ning decided to stop the upcoming battle. Chapter 1610. I can't tell what his opponent is like, said Ning. He's a branch of the dragon race. He's a half-step martial emperor. His control over his energy is very good. There's no leakage of energy at all. Furthermore, there's a half-step martial emperor puppet hidden inside his body. As the overlord of this region, Ethereal Battle Emperor naturally came to a conclusion after a brief inspection. These shameless bastards are really ruthless. Ning was a little angry. A half-step Emperor Realm Cultivator was already attacking, and he even used a puppet. It was a little despicable. Don't worry. I still think Night Sorrow has a high chance of winning. External forces are still external forces. One's own strength is the true strength. Ethereal Battle Emperor shook his head. My lord, I think there will be a big bet today. You can't leave me out. I'm going to fight with Yuan today. My lord, please stay here and watch. I'll handle it. Ning cupped his hands at Ethereal Battle Emperor and left the highest pavilion. Void World's lord has appeared. Everyone who should come is here. In the blink of an eye, an era has passed. Things have changed. Ethereal Battle Emperor had a strange expression on his face. Night Sorrow sat there without moving. He didn't look at Zhulong either. Although it was before the battle, he was still very quiet. Fu Wu went up the stage and introduced the two parties. This time, the introduction was very simple. He only introduced the names of the two parties. The odds were 2-1. After all, Night Sorrow had an undefeated record. 1-1 was not suitable. After that, it was time to place bets. Many people placed their bets. Night Sorrow was carrying half of the bets. Kid, didn't you want to bet with me? You want to play big? How much do you want to bet today? Yuan stood up. He knew Zhulong's situation very well, so he was very confident. I don't have much. How much do you want to bet? Let's see if I can afford it. Knight Sorrow turned his head and glanced at Yuan Ji. 5 million. You dare to accept 50,000 Saint Spirit stones? Yuan Ji took out a storage ring. You scared me to death. I thought you were going to take out tens of millions. I really can't afford it. 5 million is a big bet. You can't do it. Knight Sorrow looked at Yuan Ji and smiled. Trash like you dare to boast so shamelessly. How much do you want to bet? Yuan Ji looked at Knight Sorrow and asked. You/Yong 5 Jiu Sure, Fei. Read B novels, percent 10 million. Don't talk to me about playing big if I'm short of 10 million. I've just arrived at ethereal Imperial City, and in your eyes, I'm trash, a nobody, but I have courage, I have heroism, I have the courage to face everything. The fact that I'm standing here today and daring to accept all challenges is proof of that. Actually, I want to tell you that you are scum in my eyes, Yi Shang said as he stood up. All right. Edgeless clapped his hands. This time, Fatty Shen had really become a damned fatty who was not afraid of death. He waved his arms vigorously and cheered, Kong. F***CK. You can't beat him, so you're trying to scare me? Knight Sorrow, can you let me stay in your mansion for a few days? Fatty Shen looked at Yuan Ji with disdain and shouted at Knight Sorrow. Hee hee. Damn Fatty, if you want to stay, I'll always have a room for you. Knight Sorrow said with a smile. Old fart, if you can't kill me, I'll curse you every day. Fatty Shen cursed again and sat down. He wasn't afraid. This was the blood battle arena. Yuan Ji couldn't casually kill him. After leaving the blood battle arena, he would follow Knight Sorrow. If Knight Sorrow was unlucky, he would accept it. If Knight Sorrow wasn't unlucky, he wouldn't fall. 10 million, is it? Take it out and I'll bet 10 million with you. Yuan Ji looked at Knight Sorrow and said. This time, he was confident. Torch Dragon was strong and he had a trump card. Knight Sorrow, do you have enough? If not, I'll make it up for you. Tsang Ning looked at Knight Sorrow. Without waiting for Knight Sorrow to speak, Datura walked out of the private room and handed a storage ring to Tsang Ning. Hee hee. Aluo, you can't be considered a good housekeeper, but your courage is hard to match. Tsang Ning said with a smile. Tsang Ning stood on the opposite side and didn't give Yuan Ji any face. Yuan Ji's face turned ugly. He then organized the storage ring and put all the spirit stones in one storage ring and threw it to Tsang Ning. After checking the storage ring, Tsang Ning looked at Yuan Ji and said, Can you be any more shameless? You don't even have 9 million here and you want to bet 10 million with him? I'm in a hurry. Besides, who would be stupid enough to bring 10 million spirit stones out? Yuan Ji was embarrassed by Tsang Ning's words. He really didn't have 10 million Saint Spirit stones. Then go back and get it. No one won't give you time. Tsang Ning said. Alright, Tsang Ning, remember what happened today. Yuan Ji was furious, but he calmed down. Wait, if you want to play big today, I, Tsang Ning, will accompany you. You sent someone to challenge the Blood Battle Stage's guest warrior, which means you have the confidence to slap the Blood Battle Stage's face. Then let's make a bet and see whose eyes are better. I'm not as rich as Knight Sorrow, but I can still bet a few million. Tsang Ning decided to make a big bet like Knight Sorrow. If he lost, then he lost. If he won, then he would hurt Yuan Ji greatly. Haha. Very good, then I don't need to go back and get it. Drifting Cloud Villa, how about I bet the villa? How many millions are you willing to bet? Yuan Ji didn't leave, because even if he went back to his courtyard, he couldn't take out so many Saint Spirit stones. After all, the Yuan family needed to run, and he couldn't just hoard a few million. I'll give you 4 million. How about that? Tsang Ning said. 4 million. Tsang Ning, are you crazy? That's a mansion given by the Battle Emperor. No one is allowed to trespass, including the city leader mansion's law guards and law guards. You're only offering 4 million? You're disrespecting the Battle Emperor. Yuan Ji roared at Song Ning. You're talking about respect with me? The elders and the 7 mansion masters have all been given mansions by the Battle Emperor for us to have a stable backyard. You're even willing to bet on this, and you still have the face to say that you're disrespecting the Battle Emperor? Song Ning laughed, but the corners of his mouth were full of disdain. 4 million it is. The point is, you can't take it away. Yuan Ji sneered. All right then. Hand over the deed. If you win, you'll take 13 million Saint Spirit stones from me. If you lose, you know what I'll do. Song Ning stretched out his hand towards Yuan Ji. Empty words were useless when it came to asking for the deed. After Yuan Ji handed over the title deed, Fu Wu walked up and opened the door of the cage. Kid, you have the aura of dragons on you. If you're not one of the dragons, then you must have hurt one of the dragons. Today, you must die. Zhu Long, who had entered the cage, had a murderous look in his eyes. Don't waste your breath. Solve the problem with your power. Night Sorrow's body shook, and the sky-splitting spear flew out. Night Sorrow reached out and grabbed it. Zhu Long waved his arm, and a strange-shaped battle blade appeared in his hand. It was 3 meters long, and filled with a sharp evil qi. Chapter 1611. After Fu Wu retreated, there was no sound in the arena, because this battle was destined to be recorded in the annals of history. Perhaps there were people stronger than Yi Shang and Zhu Long on the blood battle platform, but they were definitely not as strong as Yi Shang and Zhu Long. Other than the normal bets, there were also millions of bets. This situation had never happened before. Fu Wu flicked his arm, and the soul-seeking gong rang. The moment the soul-seeking gong rang, Night Sorrow and Zhu Long both moved. Night Sorrow could feel Zhu Long's strength, and Zhu Long naturally knew that Night Sorrow wasn't simple. Neither of them could afford to lose. In fact, no one could afford to lose in the blood battle arena. When the two of them charged, they both waved their weapons and attacked each other. With a loud explosion, the two separated. They were evenly matched, but Night Sorrow only used his physical strength and Jin Qi. He didn't circulate the myriad Tao Tome's energy. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation. Since there wasn't a clear winner, the two of them charged at each other again. Explosions rang out continuously. Zhu Long was a branch of dragons, so his body was tyrannical. He wasn't at a disadvantage when fighting with Night Sorrow. Relying on physical strength alone wasn't enough, so Night Sorrow circulated the myriad Tao Tome's energy and poured it into his arms, adding to his weapons. When Night Sorrow's Space Splitter Spear and Zhu Long's Battle Blade clashed again, the result was different. Night Sorrow was still in the same place, but Zhu Long was directly sent flying by Night Sorrow's spear. This was the effect of circulating the myriad Tao Tome's energy. After being sent flying by Night Sorrow's spear, Zhu Long's expression changed drastically. Then, a black protective shield appeared on his body. The shield was black, and there was lightning flowing on it. Destruction Thunder. Zhu Long's energy attribute was completely revealed. It was the Destruction Thunder attribute, which was a branch of the destruction energy. After the shield was activated, Zhu Long's body trembled again. The force of heaven and earth pressed down on Night Sorrow. He used the advantage of his realm and had the force of heaven and earth. Hiss. The entire place was filled with gasps of cold air. The Torch Dragon's destructive thunder attribute was already very shocking, as this attribute was extremely rare and had a strong attack power. Now, he had also displayed the advantage of his cultivation realm. It was very difficult for a heaven monarch to fight against a half-the-arch, as there was a fundamental difference. One had comprehended the general trend of heaven and earth, while the other didn't. Night Sorrow swung his space-splitting spear diagonally and released his battle intent. At this moment, his battle intent seemed to have materialized and carried a purple halo. The Voids' will of heaven's will. The ethereal battle empress's will to the battle will. Others might not be able to see anything, but she could, because she was the ethereal battle emperor. Before the battle, she had already sensed the strength of Yi Shang and Zhu Long. The reason why she favored Yi Shang was because of the terrifying energy contained in his body. In addition, Yi Shang had sensed her detection, but Zhu Long had not. After releasing his fighting spirit, Night Sorrow managed to suppress Torch Dragon's heaven and earth momentum to a certain extent. While Night Sorrow blocked Zhulong's suppression, Zhulong's body flashed and he attacked Night Sorrow with his saber. Berserk! Torch Dragon's attacks were extremely violent. Although the release of the force of heaven and earth did not suppress Night Sorrow, it helped him increase his combat strength by at least 30%. Under such circumstances, Night Sorrow could no longer rely on his strength to send Torch Dragon flying. Torch Dragon's body was already strong to begin with, and with the help of the world's momentum, Night Sorrow's physical advantage was nullified. However, it was still impossible for him to defeat Night Sorrow. It was only a matter of time. At this time, the strength of the two's attacks had reached a level that shocked everyone. When the two weapons collided, spatial ripples rippled out in all directions. Night Sorrow wasn't in a hurry as long as they could hold their ground. He wanted to see what kind of territory they had. Torch Dragon attacked wildly, but Night Sorrow stood in the middle of the cage as steady as a mountain. He did not take a single step back. This was the foundation. With a good foundation, one could withstand such attacks. This level of attack is already at the Emperor level. Wu Feng turned to look at Sung Ning and said, "This is only the current level. Both of them still have trump cards that they have not used. Let's see who can't withstand the current situation and use their ultimate move first," Sung Ning said. Sung Ning did not check on Night Sorrow's situation. This was out of respect between friends. After the battle Emperor checked, she naturally understood that Night Sorrow had a trump card. He was just using the power of time. Torch Dragon maintained his high-intensity attacks, intending to break Night Sorrow's defense and find a flaw. After 15 minutes, Night Sorrow was still the same. He stood in the middle of the cage and did not retreat. He only stepped forward, retreated, and swung his spear to block Torch Dragon's attacks. Yuan Ji's face was cold. He did not expect that Torch Dragon, who was at the half-step martial emperor realm and had a strong body, would not be able to take down Night Sorrow even after using the Tao of Thunder and Destruction. At this moment, almost half of the spectators stood up to watch the battle. Not to mention that they had placed their bets, such a battle was rare to see. Torch Dragon was a little anxious that he could not take down Night Sorrow. He was the challenger, and Yuan Ji had promised him a reward of 1,000,000 Saint Spirit Stones if he won. There was no way he could win if the battle continued. So what if your defense is strong? Let's see how you can block it. Torch Dragon roared as he took a few steps back. Then, a cracking sound came from his body. Along with the sound, pieces of black metal appeared and wrapped around Torch Dragon. In the blink of an eye, Torch Dragon became a black monster, emitting a more violent aura than before. It was a puppet, a high-level puppet. Night Sorrow had fought with the Celestial Sect before, so he naturally knew what it was. It was a puppet that surpassed the Heavenly Monarch realm. With the addition of the puppet, Night Sorrow was repelled when their weapons clashed again. He was at a disadvantage in terms of energy and strength. After all, it was not 1 + 1. It was a double increase in combat strength. "If I can't block it, I won't block it," Night Sorrow replied. He took a step forward and arrived in front of Torch Dragon. Then, he used a temporal oscillation wave and stabbed at Torch Dragon's side. Torch Dragon's body flashed and he swung his saber at Night Sorrow's head. Night Sorrow took another step forward and dodged Torch Dragon's attack. Then, he used the afterimage body. Several figures appeared and pounced at Torch Dragon. Night Sorrow's clone was hidden among them. He used the spatial whirling dragon kill and stabbed at Torch Dragon's back. Night Sorrow's afterimage body was controlled by his soul spirit power. It could be passed off as real, making it impossible to judge. Torch Dragon's saber swung and swept across, breaking Night Sorrow's afterimage body. At this moment, Night Sorrow's space-splitting spear blasted Torch Dragon's back. The situation was different from Night Sorrow's estimation. This spear only sent Torch Dragon's body flying forward, but it didn't pierce through. Its defense was terrifying. This half-step monarch rank puppet was powered by Torch Dragon's own energy. Night Sorrow's spatial whirling dragon kill couldn't break through its defense. Trash, come on. Torch Dragon didn't do much after being hit by Night Sorrow's spear. Chapter 16:12. Since I can't hide it anymore, I won't hide it anymore. Night Sorrow's aura changed. The gray protective shield turned dark purple. What is this? Fatty Shin's face was filled with shock. Everyone watching the battle was the same. They had never seen such attributes before. After the void attribute exploded, Night Sorrow used the afterimage body again. Then, he hid his real body in the afterimage body and used the void origin kill. The spear hit again. Zhu Long moved a step. Night Sorrow shook his wrist and didn't let the spear miss. He attacked Zhu Long's left shoulder. With the explosion of the purple halo, the black metal on Zhu Long's left shoulder was annihilated. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere. You are invincible just because you have a turtle shell? Night Sorrow took a step forward and moved his spear again. It was the void extreme kill. You deserve to die. Zhu Long was shocked when his puppet was destroyed. At the same time, he was furious because he was injured. Zhu Long swung his battle blade. Night Sorrow didn't dodge this time because the void extreme kill's annihilation ability was strong. Their weapons clashed once again. This time, there was no sound of energy colliding. Only a purple halo exploded. Then, 3 feet of Torch Dragon's saber fell. The middle part was annihilated, and the other half fell to the ground. After breaking Zhu Long's weapon, Night Sorrow shook his right hand and used the Death Destruction Slash. The black halo fell on Zhu Long's head. Then, he stabbed his spear forward again. The black halo fell on Zhu Long's head. However, the black puppet on Zhu Long's head emitted a green light and blocked the black halo. Night Sorrow's space-splitting spear stabbed Zhu Long's chest. However, it didn't pierce through and only pushed Zhu Long back. When Zhu Long retreated, Night Sorrow's feet shook and he jumped into the air. He shook his space-splitting spear and used the Emperor Reincarnation Slash. So strong. Tsung Ning muttered. She knew that Torch Dragon had no more trump cards left. His biggest trump card was the puppet. Now that he had used the puppet and was being suppressed by Night Sorrow, it was as good as dead. The halo of the Great Emperor Samsara Slash landed on the Torch Dragon's head, but it was still blocked by the halo emitted by the Torch Dragon's head. However, while the Torch Dragon's soul was defending, the Torch Dragon's dodging speed slowed down. Night Sorrow's Space Splitter Spear had transformed into the Void Extreme Kill and pierced his chest, causing a purple halo to erupt. The space-splitting spear pierced through the black puppet's defense and into its chest. Without waiting for Night Sorrow's space-splitting spear to erupt with energy, the Torch Dragon battle saber slashed and borrowed the force to retreat, avoiding Night Sorrow's killing move. However, dodging this sure-kill attack was not enough. Night Sorrow continued to attack. As the battle progressed, more and more bloody holes appeared on Torch Dragon's body. They were all pierced by Night Sorrow's Void Extreme Kill and Void Origin Kill because he could not break through his defense. Everyone understood that if Torch Dragon did not have any other trump cards, he would be killed. Now, Night Sorrow had the absolute advantage. At this moment, Torch Dragon was only defending. At the same time, he was thinking of ways to solve the current crisis. He was struggling to make a decision. You want to kill me? Then, you must die. When Night Sorrow's spear pierced his chest again, Torch Dragon roared. Then, his body suddenly exploded. The puppet and the energy exploded, sending Yi Shang flying. The self-destruction of a half-step martial monarch realm cultivator was too powerful. Yi Shang spat out a mouthful of blood as he was sent flying. This was not something he could withstand. The body of a half-step Imperial Realm cultivator contained boundless energy. In addition, he had controlled the puppet to explode. Hence, he was injured. Go to hell. At this moment, another torch dragon appeared in the chaotic energy. He held the same battle saber and charged towards Night Sorrow. The battle saber was the same. This battle saber was complete. Main body. It was Torch Dragon's main body. Torch Dragon hesitated just now because he was considering if he should fight with his main body. If he did not fight, his clone would be killed. His main body was in the spatial treasure. The spatial treasure was his spoils of war and would be taken out of the cage by Night Sorrow. If he appeared again after leaving the cage, he could still survive. If his main body fought, there would be two results. He would either kill Night Sorrow or his main body would be killed. After thinking for a while, Torch Dragon decided to take a risk. He would self-explode his clone and severely injure Night Sorrow. Then, his main body would appear and kill Night Sorrow. He succeeded. Everyone's expression changed drastically. Datura's face turned pale and bloodless. Torch Dragon was too sinister. Who would have expected him to fight with his main body and clone? At this moment, Night Sorrow was severely injured. Seeing Torch Dragon charging towards him, Night Sorrow's body trembled and landed on the ground. Then, his body glowed as he activated the mysterious yellow armor. He was not in a good condition now. He had to block Torch Dragon's attack first. Otherwise, he would be in big trouble. A loud explosion sounded. Night Sorrow's body was sent flying again and landed on the edge of the cage. However, Night Sorrow circulated his energy and regained the ability to fight. He watched as Torch Dragon charged towards him once again. Night Sorrow took a step forward and executed the soul-extinguishing slash. The crescent blade of the soul-extinguishing slash flew towards the divine sea of Torch Dragon's true body. Then, a spatial crack appeared, preventing Torch Dragon from approaching and giving him a chance to catch his breath. Sung Ning let out a breath. It was too dangerous just now. However, Night Sorrow had stabilized himself. The situation was not good. Even if he was injured, he would not be defeated immediately. Night Sorrow circulated the myriad Daos tome and activated the virtuous immortal golden body to recover the blood in his body. Torch Dragon was chasing after him with all his strength because he knew that if he let Night Sorrow recover from the negative effect of his clone's self-destruction, he would be in trouble. Chapter 5, Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation. Torch Dragon's speed was fast, but Night Sorrow's footwork was extremely nimble. Every step he took covered a distance of more than 100 feet. In addition, his soul attack also interfered with Torch Dragon, causing all of Torch Dragon's blade lights to miss. This situation only lasted for a moment. Night Sorrow's aura calmed down a little. He turned around and used the Void Extreme Kill. Night Sorrow's sudden counterattack caught Torch Dragon off guard. He could only swing his battle blade to slash at it. When he swung his blade, he remembered Night Sorrow's attack power and how his clone's battle blade was damaged. However, it was too late. A purple halo rippled. Just like the previous time, the Void Splitter Spear broke Torch Dragon's battle blade and stabbed into his chest. This time, Torch Dragon didn't have a puppet to defend him. The energy of the Void Splitter Spear directly tore open his chest, creating a hole. Just as Torch Dragon was retreating in a hurry, Night Sorrow pushed his right hand and the Void Splitter Spear entered Torch Dragon's body. Then, he rushed forward and reached out his right hand to grab the Void Splitter Spear again. Following that, he slashed downwards. The one-on-one fight was over. The Void Splitter Spear slashed downwards and shattered Torch Dragon's Dantian. The scene froze. Let me go. Torch Dragon's eyes were filled with fear. Now that his cultivation had been destroyed, if Night Sorrow attacked again, his soul would be destroyed. You shouldn't have begged. You wanted to kill me at all costs. Therefore, you have to die. You should die with some dignity. Night Sorrow wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth with his left hand. The self-destruction of Torch Dragon's clone had caused him to suffer quite a bit. You will definitely die. Someone will kill you. Seeing that there was no hope in begging, Torch Dragon roared angrily. Chapter 1613. With Torch Dragon's death, its body turned into a huge dragon corpse that took up almost all of the space in the cage. Night Sorrow waved his arm and put Torch Dragon's corpse into his storage ring. Then, he walked out of the cage opened by Fu Wu. What a vicious move. Half-step Emperor Realm. You even brought your puppet and your main body to battle. No wonder you dared to bet millions. However, the results still disappointed you. Night Sorrow took out a life spirit pill and ate it. Then, he looked at Yuan Ji. Remember this. I will definitely kill you. Yuan Ji turned and left. There was no need for him to stay any longer. Fatty Shen was even faster than Datura. He ran to Night Sorrow's side and asked, Hee, Night Sorrow, are you alright? Cough. Let's see if you are hurt by a half-step Emperor Realm self-explosion. Night Sorrow coughed. Red blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. Night Sorrow was seriously injured this time. The self-explosion of Torch Dragon's puppet was indeed powerful. Night Sorrow walked to his seat and sat down. He began to use the life spirit pill to recover. The road back to the mansion was not safe. Therefore, it was more important for him to recover. Datura and Wufeng stood guard at the side. After looking at Night Sorrow, Fu Wu announced Night Sorrow's victory. Then, it was time for the next battle. However, not many people placed their bets. Most of them were still in shock. The battle just now was too intense, and it was rare to see such a scene. Those who had lost their bets did not curse like they usually did, because even if they lost, there was nothing to say. Night Sorrow and Torch Dragon's strength was obvious. After looking at Night Sorrow, Tsang Ning nodded at Datura. Wait for me. I will be right there. Tsang Ning returned to the highest pavilion. She received a voice transmission from Ethereal Battle Emperor. My lord, your judgment is very accurate. This fellow's own strength is much stronger than Zhulong's, who relied on his Dharma treasure to increase his strength. I really didn't expect Zhulong to bring his true body in, Tsang Ning said when they reached the highest point. He was just careless and got tricked by Torch Dragon. That's really unexpected, Ethereal Battle Emperor said. My lord, are you going to take back Yuan Ji's mansion? Tsang Ning asked Ethereal Battle Emperor. Take it back. Why do we have to take it back? The entire Misty Dynasty belongs to me. Why would I take back a mansion? Yuan Ji's failure was his own problem. If you follow me and fight for the foundation of the Ethereal Dynasty, I will give you a place to settle down. This is what I should do. I don't care about anything else, said the Ethereal Battle Emperor. Then I have Tsang Ning Manor. Drifting Cloud Manor can only be given to that guy, said Tsang Ning. All right. Ethereal Battle Emperor nodded. My lord, as you can see, it's not that I want to fight Yuan Ji, it's just that he's a little crazy, Tsang Ning explained. I've seen it. Do as you please. I don't care. Arrange a banquet for me later. I want to see him. Don't mention my identity. Just say that I'm your friend, Lin Piaomiao, said the Ethereal Battle Emperor. Lin Piaomiao was her name, but not many people knew it. My lord, I can't do that. The name Piaomiao is taboo in the Misty Dynasty. No one will use this name. Tsang Ning's face was filled with astonishment. Even if the elders and the 7th Mansion Master wanted to meet Lin Piaomiao, they might not be able to do so. It all depended on Lin Piaomiao's mood. Lin Piaomiao can't do that. Do you remember my other name? Lin Piaomiao asked Tsang Ning. Pet name, Lin Xian. Tsang Ning looked at Ethereal Battle Emperor. It's rare that you still remember. After so many years, it seems like you're the only one who knows. Time is really scary. It took away all our relatives and you're the only one left by my side, Lin Piaomiao sighed. My lady. Tsang Ning changed the way he addressed her. Hee. That's a good way to address me. Actually, you've forgotten that I'm not only the ethereal battle emperor, but also your sister. Do you know why I killed Nan Do-yang? It's not just because he offended me. It's mainly because he wanted to take advantage of you. You should know that some things have always been there. Alright, go and arrange the banquet. Ethereal Battle Emperor turned around and looked outside through the crystal window. After leaving the top floor of the blood battle arena, Tsang Ning was a little distracted. Ethereal Battle Emperor's words had touched her deeply. Tsang Ning and Ethereal Battle Emperor both had the surname Lin. They came from the same family, but one was a direct descendant while the other was a side branch. Lin Piaomiao was the most outstanding talent in the family, and so was Lin Tsang Ning. After the birth of these two talents, the family began to decline. They couldn't even enter the King Palace. They couldn't withstand the erosion of time and didn't develop much. Now, the Tsang Ning residence's Lin family was made up of many generations. Too many years had passed, and Lin Piaomiao's achievements were getting higher and higher. There was a gap between the two of them. Tsang Ning felt a sense of unfamiliarity. After all, the gap between them was too big. They went from being sisters to being subordinates. IL initial hashtag I once. There was a leader of another power who had taken a liking to Tsang Ning and came to ask for her hand in marriage. Because he spoke rudely, he felt that Tsang Ning was just an emperor without any foundation. What was surprising was that Ethereal Battle Emperor, who was originally calm, suddenly attacked and killed him. That was a very famous expert, and he even caused some trouble for Ethereal Battle Emperor. Tsang Ning thought that he had offended Lin Piaomiao, but now she knew that wasn't the case. Tsang Ning suddenly felt very clear in her heart. What she thought she had lost was actually still there. She wanted to share this feeling with others, but she couldn't. She could only be happy for herself. After Tsang Ning returned, Knight Sorrow also opened his eyes. His injuries had been stabilized, and all that was left was to recover slowly. Boss Knight, how do you feel? Tsang Ning looked at Knight Sorrow and asked. Old Tsang, don't joke about this. Knight Sorrow laughed. Joke? Aluo took out 10 million, and you won 10 million. That's 20 million. Isn't this boss big enough? Tsang Ning said with a smile. That's true. But Saint Spirit stones aren't easy to earn. Knight Sorrow said with a smile. Come, let's go to the private room and split the loot. Wufeng, you come too. You still have to send Knight Sorrow back later. Tsang Ning said to Wufeng, who was about to leave. After entering the private room, Tsang Ning took out his storage ring and handed the 10 million Saint Spirit stones Datura to Knight Sorrow. Let's talk about the Drifting Cloud Manor first. After the Misty Dynasty was founded, Lord Battle Emperor found craftsmen to build a number of mansions in order to provide a stable living environment for those who performed meritorious deeds. Maitsang Ning Manor, Guanyua Manor, Sky's Sun Manor, and so on were all built. Yuanji's Drifting Cloud Manor was built. I think this manor is suitable for you, Tsang Ning said to Yishan. This is troublesome. Lord Battle Emperor gave it to Yuanji. Is it suitable for others? Knight Sorrow asked. Chapter 1614. Forget about it. Boss Tsang, your friend is a big shot, but I am just your friend. I don't want to talk to anyone else, Knight Sorrow said. He hated trouble and didn't like unnecessary social interactions. I am introducing you to someone who is suitable to be your friend. You can take the land deed. We will deduct 4 million from the 10 million Saint Spirit stones we won. You can take 6 million and leave, Tsang Ning said after organizing the storage ring. Asterisk. That won't do. Yuanji's Drifting Cloud Manor and Saint Spirit stones are only worth 13 million. The manor is worth 4 million, so there's a difference of 1 million between the two. That's on me. 5 million is enough. Yishan shook his head. It's not what you think. The bet I accepted this time is beyond your 10 million, which is only 3 million. I will take 3 million, Tsang Ning said. Boss Tsang, just give me 5 million. Drifting Cloud Manor is a mansion that cannot be bought with money, Night Sorrow said. Okay. Then I will listen to you. You are really good. How long have you been in the ethereal imperial city? With such wealth, it would take a long time to rob. In fact, you are robbing, Tsang Ning said with a smile. At this time, Fu Wu came with a storage ring. It was Night Sorrow's bonus. I won't take this. It is not suitable. You don't have to give it to me in the future, Night Sorrow said. If you take it this time, the blood battle platform will not give you any bonus in the future. In your current situation, the blood battle platform will lose every time you fight. Who will bet that your opponent will win? Tsang Ning said. I know. I won't take what I shouldn't take. Night Sorrow nodded. Tsang Ning then told Night Sorrow to tell Peng Wanli or Kei Wu to take over the Drifting Cloud Manor. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow and Datura left the blood battle platform with Ji Dao and Wu Feng. They saw Fatty Shin at the door. Master Knight, you have to take care of me in the future. Otherwise, he will kill me, Fatty Shin said. Alright then, let's go together. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that Fatty Shin was different from him. If Yuan Ji wanted to kill him, it would be as easy as crushing an ant. Fatty Shin's situation was different from Night Sorrow's. Back then, Night Sorrow was in Sanglan Prefecture's territory and had offended Guanyue Prefecture and Heavenly Sun Prefecture, which were about the same level of power as Sanglan Prefecture. Furthermore, he had Wu Feng's protection. Now, Fatty Shin had offended the extremely powerful Yuan Ji. If Yuan Ji wanted to kill him, Jiang Tianheng would not stop him, nor could he stop him. The group did not encounter any obstructions and returned to the mansion. Big brother, I'm going to recuperate, Night Sorrow said to Edgeless. All right. Then give me the title deed first. Big brother, go find Peng Wanli and Kei Wu and take over the Flowing Cloud Mountain Manor. We can't let that guy continue tormenting us, Wu Feng said. After giving the title deed to Wu Feng, Night Sorrow went into seclusion to recuperate. Candle Dragon's unexpected self-destruction had caused him to suffer quite a loss. Night Sorrow went into seclusion, and Hong Yi arranged for Fatty Shin to stay in a loft. The mansion was quite big, and Fatty Shin would not be affected at all if he stayed here. Yuan Ji returned to his courtyard in the mansion and was furious. He had lost too much this time. 10 million Saint Spirit Stones and his Flowing Cloud Mountain Manor. The Flowing Cloud Mountain Manor was not a problem with the Saint Spirit Stones. It was also his face. He thought that Candle Dragon, who had the puppet, would definitely win. That was why he had bet the Flowing Cloud Mountain Manor. But now, he had lost everything. Yuan Ji had been tricked by Night Sorrow for 13 million Saint Spirit Stones and the Flowing Cloud Mountain Manor, which was his entire life's fortune. Even the Yuan family's operations would be a problem. Just as Yuan Ji was considering whether or not he should sell some materials to redeem the Drifting Cloud Villa, a servant came in and reported that all the servants of the Yuan family in the Drifting Cloud Villa had been kicked out by Wu Feng and Peng Wanli. Right now, the Drifting Cloud Villa was named Yi, and had nothing to do with Yuan. Yuan Ji knocked on the ground with his crutch, causing cracks to spread out in all directions. He knew that the Flowing Cloud Mountain Manor could not be taken back. Hatred. Yuan Ji did not only hate Night Sorrow, but also hated Tsang Ning. If not for Tsang Ning supporting Night Sorrow, it would be too easy for him to deal with Night Sorrow. Wu Feng would not be able to stop him either, because he was not from the Ethereal Dynasty. After pondering for a while, Yuan Ji went to the exquisite tower on the highest peak of the city leader's mansion to see the Ethereal Battle Emperor. He kept bowing in front of the tower, waiting to be summoned, but there was no response. After leaving the tower, Yuan Ji knew that he had to think of a solution. If he did not solve this problem, he would lose all his face. After sending off Night Sorrow and Wu Feng, Tsang Ning went to the top floor of the blood battle arena. Miss, it has been arranged. Tsang Ning said. It has been arranged? He does not want to be friends with me. Ethereal Battle Emperor said. That is because he is a child. Miss, please do not lower yourself to his level. Sung Ning said with a smile. Of course not. Right now, he hates trouble. He has been tortured. Today, he was lucky that he was strong enough. Otherwise, he would have been killed by the people sent by Elder Yuan. After he recovers, you can come to the city leader's mansion to find me. We can talk then. Ethereal Battle Emperor stood up and went to the transportation array below, leaving. Yuan Ji, you always think that you are strong and powerful. Now that the Drifting Cloud Manor has lost, how can you face others? Sung Ning said to himself. Sung Ning was very happy that Yuan Ji had lost to the Drifting Cloud Manor. This was because he had lost face. Night Sorrow cultivated in the 8-dragon cauldron for a month. Only then did he fully recover his internal organs and meridians damaged by the Torch Dragon's self-detonation. The Destruction Lightning attribute was very domineering. An ordinary cultivator would have a hard time recovering from the Destruction Lightning attribute. Fortunately, Night Sorrow had the Destruction Lightning attribute. He could refine and assimilate it, so it was not a problem. After recovering, Night Sorrow flashed out of the 8-dragon cauldron. Seeing that Night Sorrow was in good condition, Datura was very happy. That guy is too shameless. Fortunately, you are strong enough. Otherwise, you would have been tricked by him. I have to say that he is very courageous. He has the courage to cut off all means of retreat. I have learned something new. I should never underestimate my opponent, Night Sorrow said. This is the title deed of the Drifting Cloud Manor. Now that we have 2 mansions, what do you plan to do with it? Datura asked Night Sorrow. After a moment's thought, Yishan said, an absolutely safe mansion can, of course, solve some of our worries. However, we still can't let our family members come over. We can't stay in the mansion forever. That's not the life we want. My true body can come over. The mansion is absolutely safe. My true body can cultivate here. If there are any emergencies, my true body can take action. Chapter 16:15. Then let's take over the Drifting Cloud Manor. I'll set up an Emperor-level teleportation array to connect it to the Star Moon Lake. This way, we won't have to teleport back and forth so many times. When we don't need it anymore, we can dismantle it, Night Sorrow said. As for knowing Sung Ning's friends, Night Sorrow didn't think much of it. He felt that Sung Ning was a decent person. At the very least, she stood up for her friends. Then, her friends wouldn't be bad either. While Night Sorrow and Datura were chatting, Sung Ning came to Night Sorrow's residence. You're in a good mental state. Have you recovered? Sung Ning asked after sitting down. I entered the spatial acceleration treasure and cultivated for a month. Only then did I fully recover. That guy's self-explosion was too powerful, and that puppet's self-explosion added to it. It wasn't easy to recover, Night Sorrow said as he brewed a pot of tea. What do you want me to say? Ordinary heaven monarchs would have been blown into ashes. How could they continue to fight and win? You should be content. How's the new residence? Sung Ning asked. I just came out of seclusion and haven't seen it yet. Night Sorrow smiled. He really didn't know about the situation in the Drifting Cloud Manor. Okay, you guys go first. I'll go to the Blood Battle Arena to see what kind of battle is going on today. Then, I'll go to the new residence to find you. Prepare a banquet, good wine, and good tea. I'll bring Wufeng and my friends there, too. Sung Ning said. Okay. Night Sorrow nodded. After Sung Ning left, Night Sorrow and Datura took Lan Ying and Ji Dao to the Drifting Cloud Manor on a beast carriage. The plaque of the Drifting Cloud Manor had been changed to Night Moon Manor. Hong Yi brought some servants here and cleaned up some traces of the past. They arranged it according to the layout of the city in the sky. Now, it had a certain scale. The craftsmen were all very powerful. They were either saints or supremacies. It was quite fast to build a manor. Night Sorrow arranged for people to prepare a banquet while he walked around the mansion. This was the manor that the ethereal Battle Emperor had bestowed upon Yuan Ji, the Grand Elder. Naturally, it was very extravagant. Not only was its location good, it was also very spacious. It even had a defensive array. However, this defensive array did not belong to Night Sorrow. It belonged to Yuan Ji. Without the title deed, Yuan Ji naturally wouldn't dare to cause trouble in the manor. However, he couldn't control the defensive array either. Night Sorrow planned to find some time to deal with it. Home had to be stable. It had to be the most relaxed and comfortable place. If it wasn't stable, how could it be called home? Song Ning saw Edgeless during Night Sorrow's viewing. Go to Night Sorrow's Night Moon Villa later. I'll introduce you to a friend. Sure. I haven't met your friend yet, Edgeless said. He's been cultivating diligently all year round and hasn't interacted with many people. His temper isn't very good, Song Ning said. Song Ning wasn't afraid that Edgeless would recognize the ethereal Battle Emperor. In the ethereal dynasty, only a few people knew the ethereal Battle Emperor. In the past, the ethereal Battle Emperor always wore a special veil when he fought. Besides, his cultivation wasn't something that anyone could detect. People with character all have bad tempers. Edgeless smiled. Then, Edgeless waited while Song Ning went to the City Lord Mansion. At this moment, the ethereal Battle Emperor was sitting on the City Lord Mansion's large chair. Yuan Ji bowed and told her about how Song Ning had stolen his drifting cloud manor. If you hadn't taken it out as a wager, would you have lost it? The moment you took it out as a wager, the drifting cloud manor was just a wager. I don't care about this. The ethereal Battle Emperor sounded a little unhappy because she was dissatisfied with Yuan Ji's actions. Yuan Ji bowed and left. He knew that the ethereal Battle Emperor wouldn't make a decision for him on this matter. Yuan Ji left the City Lord Mansion. He planned to look for Song Ning when he had time and see what price he could pay to take back the drifting cloud manor. After Yuan Ji left, Song Ning also arrived at the City Lord Mansion. He brought the ethereal Battle Emperor to Edgeless Mansion and called Edgeless to Night Sorrow's Night Moon Manor. Sensing the arrival of the group, Night Sorrow led them to the side garden of the mansion. Everyone, have some tea first. The banquet will be served soon. Night Sorrow took out a tea set and started brewing tea. Let me introduce everyone. This is my friend Lin Xian-Er. Sister Xian-Er, this is my friend Edgeless. This is Night Sorrow and his wife Aluo. They are all good friends of mine. Song Ning introduced everyone. I am Lin Xian-Er. The ethereal Battle Emperor nodded to Edgeless, Night Sorrow and Datura. Don't stand on ceremony. Make yourselves at home. Have some tea first, then we'll drink. Friends are hard to come by, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yes, friends are easy to say, but in reality, good friends are hard to come by. Sister Xian-Er, you don't have many friends. In the future, you can come to Night Sorrow and rip him off. He has a lot of good wine and tea. He has a lot of wealth, Song Ning said. She knew that the ethereal Battle Emperor valued Night Sorrow, so she wanted to pave the way for Lin Xian-Er to come to the Night Moon Manor. Can I? Lin Xian-Er, the ethereal Battle Emperor, looked at Night Sorrow and asked. No problem. This is the Night Moon Manor. You can come whenever you want. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow had his own way of judging things and people. Lin Xian-Er's aura wasn't as sharp as Song Ning's or Edgeless, but she had a majestic aura. She sat there upright, and the energy of heaven and earth surrounded her as if submitting to her. This showed that she wasn't an evil person. You don't have to call me lady. I'm much older than you. You can just call me Sister Xian-Er. Lin Xian-Er nodded to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow had his way of judging people, and she was the same. After meeting Night Sorrow for the first time, she understood some things. Night Sorrow, my sister Xian Air has just finished her cultivation and doesn't have a place to stay yet. Arrange for her to stay in your manor. Ordinary people won't be a threat to you if they come, Tsang Ning said. Sure. Luo, make the arrangements later. These aren't a problem. Night Sorrow took the teapot and poured a cup of tea for everyone. After drinking the tea, Lin Xian Air was very impressed with Night Sorrow's tea and tea ceremony. After the banquet was served, everyone chatted and drank casually. Tsang Ning also asked Night Sorrow about his next plans. Continue to fight. If they want to kill me, I'll definitely fight back. When I have time, I'll challenge the heavenly monarchs under Yuan Ji. Continue to deal with Guanyue Manor, Night Sorrow said. Actually, I don't understand. Previously, Sky Sun Manor kept sending people to challenge you. Why are you targeting Guanyue Manor? Tsang Ning asked. The Heavenly Sun Prefecture wants to kill me because I killed their young prefecture lord, Yang Yu. They want to take revenge. That's a valid reason. The cause of all this is the Guanyue Prefecture, so we'll hold them hostage first. We'll wait until the Guanyue Prefecture comes to an end before we talk about the Heavenly Sun Prefecture. Yi Shang explained. I heard Tsang Ning say that Shadow Manor is also hostile to you. Why is that? Lin Xian Air asked. Chapter 16:16. It's not easy to explain. In short, they hate me, but it doesn't matter. They still have a bottom line. Yang Tianlai wanted to kill me once, but it was Brother Wufeng who helped me stop him, Night Sorrow said. When it came to the God Devil Castle, some things could not be revealed. He could not say that he killed Luo Fei's original body. There must be a reason, but Ethereal Imperial City has a rule set by the War Emperor. No fighting is allowed in the city. Whoever wants to break this rule will have to pay a price. I don't think anyone would dare to challenge this rule, Lin Xian Air said. Everyone casually drank some wine. Datura brought Lin Xian Air to arrange a place for them to stay, while Tsang Ning and Wufeng left. Night Sorrow strolled around the villa. Although the formation in the mansion was not activated, Night Sorrow, who was a heavenly array master, could still sense it. After observing for a while, Night Sorrow decided to first dismantle the formation and then rearrange it. This was something that could not be helped, because the master of the formation here was Yuan Ji, not Night Sorrow. When Night Sorrow was slowly dispelling the formation, Datura and Lin Xian Air came over. Night Sorrow, what are you doing? Datura asked. The Drifting Cloud Villa used to be Yuan Ji's nest, so there was a defensive formation. I don't have a formation diagram, so I can't control it. If I don't solve it, it will be a hidden danger, so I have to dismantle it slowly and then rearrange it. This is not an easy task, Night Sorrow said. Formation. My array Dao cultivation is not bad. Let me help you try to change the formation here, Lin Xian Air said. That's fine, I'll be your assistant, Night Sorrow said. Over the next few days, Lin Xian helped Yi Shang change the spirit arrays in the mansion. She felt helpless in her heart. The spirit arrays here were all personally set up by her. Now that she had to pretend to study and change them, the difficulty was still relatively high. Moreover, as he made the changes, he also drew the new array diagram and explained it to Night Sorrow, who often asked about it. Lin Xianer also had a habit of not working at night. She would just drink tea and look at the moon. Night Sorrow used the night to set up a teleportation array, an Emperor-level teleportation array. Your train of thought is correct, but there is an even simpler way. Lin Xianer was speechless as she watched Night Sorrow reinforce the energy lines of the teleportation array. What other simple methods are there? This is my own research. I don't know of any other way to make the teleportation array more stable, Night Sorrow said. Without anyone to guide you, it's already very rare for you to be able to research to this extent. To actually be able to set up an Emperor-level teleportation array like this, there's no one else. The simple solution is to first set up a reinforcement array, then set up a teleportation array on top of the reinforcement array. Channel the energy of the reinforcement array into the teleportation array and stabilize the energy lines of the teleportation array. After Lin Xian finished speaking, she began to set up the reinforcement array, explaining as she did so. A moment later, a reinforcement array with a radius of 6 feet was completed. It was full of circulating reinforcement arrays. To avoid destroying the energy points of the reinforcement array, you just need to set up a teleportation array on top of it, Lin Xianer said as she clapped her hands. Amazing, this is amazing. Night Sorrow was sincerely impressed. Lin Xianer set up the array very quickly. You can do it too. Your cultivation of array Dao is very stable. It's just that the level of array Dao you've come into contact with is not enough. When your soul power rises and can support setting up an Emperor level array, it will naturally not be a problem for you to set up an Emperor level array, Lin Xianer said. Inheritance is difficult. I rely on alchemy and weapon forging to exchange for resources and inheritance. I won't hide it from Sister Xianer, Luo and I are not from the celestial realm. We come from the same realm and have no inheritance. Until now, we haven't even reached the Emperor realm, Night Sorrow said. There's nothing impossible about it. In fact, whether it's array Dao, weapon Dao, alchemy Dao, or cultivation Dao, others can only use it as a reference. Dao must be one's own Dao. Only then can one stand above the clouds and run rampant in the world. Which famous person doesn't know their own Dao? Lin Xianer shook her head at Night Sorrow. I see, I understand. Night Sorrow was a little confused. You don't understand yet, but it doesn't matter because your level is not high enough. When your level is high enough, you'll naturally understand. Everyone's Emperor Realm domain is different. Even if it's the same Emperor Realm domain, there are different focuses and directions of development, Lin Xianer said. I see. Thank you for your explanation, Sister Xianer. Night Sorrow said. At this moment, Night Sorrow understood that this friend of Song Ning's was an expert. He couldn't see through his cultivation. Lin Xianer modified the array and Night Sorrow followed suit. When setting up and modifying the array, Lin Xianer would explain. She didn't just talk about array Dao, she also talked about the heavenly Dao. In her words, all Daos were interconnected. Every day that passed, Night Sorrow benefited greatly. On this day, Lin Xian handed over a set of array diagrams to Yishang. Alright, the Night Moon Villa's array has been set up. It's a miniature 9 heavens 10 earths extermination array, and its power isn't bad. You've seen me set it up before, and with the array diagrams, you shouldn't have any problems controlling it. However, it's a bit difficult to set it up. 84. Thank you, Sister Xianer. Night Sorrow said with a smile. It's nothing. You study it yourself. I'm going out for a walk. Lin Xianer nodded at Night Sorrow. After Lin Xianer left, Night Sorrow checked the array, but then sighed. Night Sorrow, the array has been set up. Why are you unhappy? Datura asked Night Sorrow. But I didn't set up this grand array. The grand array of Yeyue Villa was controlled by the enemy. It was a grand array that was set up with the help of a friend. It doesn't feel good to not have absolute control over it, said Yishang. You'll be able to do it slowly. Datura smiled. She understood Night Sorrow's thoughts. He wasn't the only controller of the array, so there were still disadvantages. Lin Xianer walked around Ethereal Imperial City. She hadn't observed Ethereal Imperial City at such a close distance for many years. Although she could monitor it with her soul power, it was different from looking with her eyes. After walking around, Lin Xianer arrived at the blood battle platform. Song Ning knew about Lin Xianer's arrival and brought her to the top floor of the blood battle platform. Miss, how's the situation these days? Song Ning asked. You've arranged it well. He's living there well. That kid is sensible and smart. Lin Xianer smiled. Miss, we just received a challenge from Yuan Ji's heavenly monarch. Yuan Ji still wants to fight. Sang Ning said. It's the same as it was before. Who did he find this time? Even Zhu Long can't do it. How can he find an expert? Lin Xianer said casually after sitting down. Chapter 16-17. No. If you don't want to be his friend, or if I don't know him, then we have to stop him because he will view the Misty Dynasty as an enemy. Although he can't do much and we can kill him easily, are you willing to kill the virtuous Grand Sage? Or am I willing to do it? Lin Xianer asked after she made her decision. Then Sang Ning will make the usual arrangements. Sang Ning nodded. It's not that I don't care about Yuan Ji, but he has gone overboard these years and hurt his own luck. It's not just him, Gong Yufan and Yang Tianlai are the same. Otherwise, why would they be so blind to offend the virtuous Grand Sage? Their fates are theirs, I don't care. Lin Xianer said. Then I will make the usual arrangements. Sang Ning understood what Lin Xianer meant. I have been cultivating in seclusion all these years, but it's too difficult. If I don't improve, I won't be able to kill Nanduhi. I have been helping Night Sorrow set up the formation and heard Night Sorrow's unintentional words. But I have been enlightened. Lin Xianer said. That's a good thing. Sang Ning said with a smile. There are some things that are really hard to explain. Originally, I thought that he was a talent, so I gave him some pointers when I could. I didn't expect that there would be karma. This might be the reason why the Merit Grand Sage is so overbearing, Lin Xian said. Sang Ning just thinks that he is suitable to be a friend, like Wu Feng. I didn't think of anything else. Sang Ning looked at Lin Xianer and said. She didn't think of using Night Sorrow. The starting point is very important. I went to see him mainly to see how the deluxe Merit Grand Sage is doing. I wanted to form a good relationship with him and make the ethereal empire more prosperous. I never thought of using him, Lin Xian explained. There's more. Nanda Heaven's army is showing signs of instability. I will go take a look later. If they dare to come close to our border, I will lead Sang Ning's army to battle. Sang Ning's face was filled with killing intent. The Misty Dynasty and Nanda Heaven had a great enmity. Nanda Yang, the second in command of Nanda Heaven, was killed by Lin Xianer because he wanted to kill Sang Ning. Nanda He, the first in command of Nanda Heaven, had been defeated by Lin Xianer several times. Because Nanda He was good at escaping, Lin Xianer to kill him. Alright, I'll leave this matter to you. During this period of time, I'll be cultivating in the Night Moon Villa, Lin Xianer stated her decision. Lin Xianer then left the blood battle platform and returned to the Yeyue Villa. Lin Xian said in surprise when she saw Yi Shang's destructive True Dragon spell. Although she hadn't experienced it, she could feel it and judge it. It's new. It's not mature yet. Night Sorrow kept the Space Splitter Spear and said. It's already very powerful. Let's not talk about the death attribute for now. You have the time, space, destruction and void attributes. There are many paths you can take. Space and destruction can be combined to cultivate the Great Space Cleaving Technique. Time and destruction can be combined to cultivate the Great Space Collapsing Technique. Lin Xianer said. Then I'll study it slowly. Night Sorrow was stunned. Lin Xianer knew his situation too well. You can do it. There's another problem. You're a heavenly monarch. Then you have to think about the tribulation once you break through to the Emperor Realm. It's hard to break through to the Emperor Realm, but it's even harder to pass the tribulation. Lin Xianer sighed. She had seen her subordinates fail to pass the tribulation and their souls were destroyed. Thank you, Sister Xianer. I already have a way to solve this. Now I just need to comprehend the realm. Night Sorrow said with a smile. All right. I'm going to cultivate in seclusion. Call me if there's anything. Lin Xianer glanced at Night Sorrow and went to her own loft. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow brought Datura, and the two of them teleported to Star Moon City in Star Moon Lake. During this period of construction, the central area of Star Moon City had been completed. Everything was on the right track. Night Sorrow chatted with Qing Emperor and the others for a while. He told Qing Emperor and the others to crush their messaging crystals if they needed anything. Then, he and Datura teleported to the 9 regions world and returned to the city in the sky. D. Look at L version H, verse Y, above V. Seeing that the two of them had returned, Sikong Chuyu went to Yuan Dao's sky and called the children back. Night Sorrow took the time to go to 9 regions city and left 20 million Saint Spirit stones with his clone in Heaven's Sealing Great Hall. During this period of time, he had earned too many Saint Spirit stones. After leaving 20 million Saint Spirit stones for Heaven's Sealing Great Hall, he still had a few million left. Night Sorrow also left some precious resources for his clone in Heaven's Sealing Great Hall. After doing this, he returned to the city in the sky and reunited with his family. During the chat, Night Sorrow talked about his situation in the Misty Dynasty. Of course, he only talked about the good side and did not mention anything about the troubles. He did not want his family to worry about him. Father, Aunt Aluo, you're really amazing. How long have you been gone? You only managed to get 2 mansions and a shop, Yi Qingyan said with a smile. This has nothing to do with Auntie. It's your father's ability that's great, Datura said with a smile. Then, it was a family dinner. Night Sorrow was very happy because his family was very peaceful. Everyone was doing well. After spending a few days with his family, Night Sorrow and Datura left again. Before leaving, Night Sorrow told his parents, wife, and children that if they had nothing to do, they could take the teleportation array to Star Moon Lake and teleport again. After arriving at Star Moon Lake, Night Sorrow's original body merged with his clone and took the teleportation array to Night Moon Villa. Then, Night Sorrow placed the Haotian godly pagoda in the middle of the mansion. His original body and Datura's original body continued to cultivate. After doing all this, Tsang Ning and Fu Wu came to inform Night Sorrow that Yu Wenji's men had issued another challenge. Another heaven monarch wanted to challenge Night Sorrow. Accept. If they dare to fight, I will accept, Night Sorrow said. This time, the information is limited. However, I know that he is from the Phantom Race, Tsang Ning said. Hearing the words Phantom Race, Night Sorrow was stunned. He had seen people from the Phantom Race before. Back in the 9 Heavens realm, when he participated in the battle for the first Sage of the 100 Realms, one of his strong opponents, Xiao Zimo, was from the Phantom Race. He knew how strong the Phantom Race was. If you aren't confident, Yu Wenji won't let him challenge you. So, you must be careful, Tsang Ning reminded Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded. Since he knew, he just had to be careful. If Yu Wenji wants to make another bet, do you still want to bet? Tsang Ning asked. He has already lost his mansion. Is there still a need to bet? Night Sorrow laughed. Chapter 16-18. How many Saint Spirit stones can he take out? Night Sorrow looked at Tsang Ning. Saint Spirit stones are very important. We can't do without them, but it's fine as long as we have enough. You want to bet that he has no choice but to accept the challenge. You want him to bet on treasures, Tsang Ning said. What treasures does he have? I don't know, and I don't know their value, Night Sorrow said after a pause. You don't know, but I do. Fu Wu, go back and make the arrangements. Night Sorrow will accept the challenge. I'll inform you later, Tsang Ning said to Fu Wu. Let's set the time for tomorrow evening, Night Sorrow said to Fu Wu. Night Sorrow didn't need to make any preparations. Fu Wu saluted Tsang Ning and Night Sorrow, then left Night Moon Villa. Have some tea first. Night Sorrow poured a cup of tea for Tsang Ning. Let's talk about Yu Wenji's treasures. His strongest treasure is the colored glass sacred bone, Tsang Ning said after drinking a mouthful of water. What's the colored glass sacred bone? Night Sorrow had never heard of this name. Sang Ning then explained to Night Sorrow what the colored glass sacred bone was. The starry sky was extremely vast. A realm had 3,000 worlds. In the celestial realm, there were 3,000 realms. There was a special world called the Immortal Buddha world. The cultivators there cultivated the Buddhist Tao. They cultivated the Tao of karma. In other words, they cultivated their bodies and their virtues. Because their starting point was merit, the heavenly Tao judged that their merits were not very high. They had bodies of merit, but not many. Although their merit wasn't high, their hearts were like a mirror. After a certain level, they would cultivate the colored glass body, colored glass golden body, and colored glass sacred body. The colored glass sacred bone was the skeleton of the colored glass body cultivator after they died. So that's how it is. I understand now, Yishan said. A level 8 cultivator would have a colored glaze body. A level 9 early emperor would have a colored glaze golden body. An emperor realm Buddhist cultivator would have a colored glaze sacred body. Yuan Ji has a colored glaze sacred bone, Sang Ning explained to Night Sorrow. It's the skeleton of a Buddhist cultivator in the Imperial Emperor realm, right? Night Sorrow finally understood what Sang Ning meant. You can say that. However, there is a difference. The cultivator of the colored glaze sacred body must be a monarch from the Immortal Buddha world. However, not all monarchs from the Immortal Buddha world possess the colored glaze sacred body. It is very difficult for the colored glass holy body to appear. Yuan Ji obtained the bone of a left hand. Therefore, Yuan Ji's strongest technique is the colored glass holy hand. His left hand is indestructible. Sang Ning revealed Yuan Ji's foundation. He might not bet on such a treasure. Night Sorrow felt that Yuan Ji would not do it. The residence was an external object. However, something like the colored glaze sacred bone was related to the foundation of one's life. This will depend on how you plan and scheme. The residence and the colored glaze sacred bone cannot be compared. He wants the residence back because of his reputation. Moreover, if you take out something enticing enough, he will definitely give in, Sang Ning said with a smile. I have a heavenly Tao immortal artifact. Can it be compared to the colored glaze sacred bone? The green lotus jade bangle appeared above Night Sorrow's head. He grabbed it and asked Sang Ning. No wonder the shadow residence wants to kill you. Haha. You're too evil. Sang Ning laughed after looking at the green lotus jade bangle. Others might not know about it, but she did. She also knew who had it. I'm not as evil as you. Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment before replying with a smile. He understood that Sang Ning already knew about him and the shadow residence. The value of the green lotus jade bangle is extremely high. When it first appeared, it caused a massacre. In the end, it was obtained by the shadow residence's Luo Yuandao. Since we are both 7 residence masters, I can't take it anymore. However, I didn't expect it to end up in your hands. You know that this thing can't be exposed. Sang Ning reminded Night Sorrow. Once the green lotus jade bangle appeared, everyone would know that Luo Fei's original body was killed by Night Sorrow. His identity would be exposed. I still have a heavenly Tao immortal artifact. However, I can't use it as a wager. The others are incomparable to the colored glaze sacred bone. Night Sorrow looked at the Haotian godly pagoda. That was the treasure that accompanied him all the way. It was his foundation. Most importantly, he had feelings for Shao Kong. He couldn't use it as a wager. Then let me think. What treasure do I have that can tempt him? Sang Ning said after glancing at the Haotian godly pagoda. No need. I still have treasures. Boss Tsang, do you think the heavenly Tao flower will be important to him? Night Sorrow looked at Sang Ning and asked. You have the heavenly Tao flower? Sang Ning looked at Night Sorrow with surprise. Yes. Night Sorrow nodded. Kiki. It's hard for him not to fall for it. Yuan Ji has the colored glaze sacred bone. However, after every battle, his left arm would be injured. Because his body isn't strong enough, he can't fully fuse with the colored glaze sacred bone. In order to fully fuse with it and make it a part of his body, he would need a heavenly treasure. The heavenly Dao flower is the best choice. He once offered a high price for the clear Dao flower and the heavenly Dao flower. However, let alone the heavenly Dao flower, he couldn't even get the clear Dao flower. Therefore, he has to accept your offer. Tsang Ning said with a smile. The heavenly Dao flower was extremely tempting to Yuan Ji. Then it's decided. Night Sorrow nodded. All right. However, you have to find a book to understand the phantom race. The phantom race's battle power is extremely strong. Tsang Ning looked at Night Sorrow and said, I know a little about the phantom race. They can bring 6 phantom doppelgangers to battle. What's more, they can switch between the real body and the doppelgangers. As long as the phantom doppelgangers aren't destroyed, they can't be killed. Night Sorrow said. It seems like you know a lot. You know how to battle. All right. Let's see tomorrow. Tsang Ning nodded at Night Sorrow and left the Night Moon Villa. Datura came to Night Sorrow's side. You really know about the phantom race? I know a little. Tomorrow will be a tough battle. If we don't deplete his energy, it will be almost impossible to kill him. There's another problem. If the opponent goes all out and fights with his real body and doppelgangers, there will be even more phantom doppelgangers. My real body will fight with my doppelgangers tomorrow. Night Sorrow made his decision. Datura thought for a moment and nodded. She knew how strong Night Sorrow's real body and doppelgangers were when they fought together. She believed in Night Sorrow's real body and doppelgangers. The phantom race's talent is exceptional. However, that's just talent. One's cultivation achievements and talent are different. Hence, there's no harm in being cautious. Lin Xian appeared. I'm also under the Arch Realm. I have the confidence to face all opponents. If I die in battle, it's because I'm not as strong as them. Night Sorrow said. He never avoided any challenges. All right. As a cultivator, the most important thing is courage. You can't be afraid. Lin Xian nodded. She admired Night Sorrow's courage. The more a cultivator lived, the more cowardly they became. The more they saw, the more fear they would have. They were afraid of failure and death, and they would lose their drive. After Lin Xian left, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. He wanted to strengthen his large-scale attack skills. He could foresee that the battle cage tomorrow would be filled with phantom doppelgangers. Chapter 1619. Originally, I wanted to add the Heavenly Dao Flower and Night Moon Villa to play a big game with you. If you don't want to, then forget it. A crystal clear petal appeared in Night Sorrow's hand. It was the Heavenly Dao Flower. Heavenly Dao Flower. Yuan Ji looked at the Heavenly Dao Flower in Night Sorrow's hand, his eyes filled with desire. Yes, the Heavenly Dao Flower. Night Sorrow smiled. With a move of his finger, the jade-like Heavenly Dao Flower was put away. You want to bet the Heavenly Dao Flower and Drifting Cloud Villa on my colored glass sacred bone? Yuan Ji looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I just said that there is no Drifting Cloud Villa now. If you want to bet on it, then I don't have time to build you another one. Night Sorrow said. He wanted to knock down Yuan Ji's arrogance. Night Moon Villa was his, and Drifting Cloud Villa was gone. Don't be so long-winded. Are you betting on my colored glass sacred bone? Yuan Ji looked at Night Sorrow and asked. That's right. Night Sorrow nodded. Then add another 5 million Holy Spirit stones, Yuan Ji said. Go play wherever you want. I don't have time to play with you. Do you think I'm stupid? Night Sorrow turned around and didn't look at Yuan Ji anymore. Adding another 5 million Holy Spirit stones wasn't too much, but Night Sorrow didn't want to. The one who fell into the pit was Yuan Ji, not Night Sorrow. Yuan-ji fell into deep thought. He estimated the outcome. Li was very strong, mainly because of his talent. In addition, Yuan-ji asked Gong Yufan to get another puppet for Li. He also gave Li a spirit pill that could instantly recover his soul power and Jin Qi. Most importantly, Yuan-ji gave Li a high price. Li's original body and doppelganger would fight together and kill Night Sorrow at all costs. After thinking for a while, Yuan-ji turned to Night Sorrow and said, "Okay, I'll bet." "Okay, as long as you accept the bet." Night Sorrow took out the title deed of the Night Moon Villa and the Heavenly Dao Flower, and handed them to Tsang Ning. "Elder Yuan, where is the colored glass sacred bone?" Tsang Ning looked at Yuan-ji. "Not many people know that I have the colored glass sacred bone. It seems that you, Tsang Ning, were the one who leaked the information. You really are a traitor," Yuan-ji cursed. "Who's your friend?" "You think too much. Night Sorrow is a friend of mine, Tsang Ning, and a guest of the Blood Battle Arena. If I don't think for him, why should I think for you? Don't be silly, take out the colored glass sacred bone." Tsang Ning's face was full of smiles, but his words were sharp. He refused to admit that he was on the same side as Yuan-ji. Yuan-ji raised his left hand. Next, a jade-like radiance flashed and a jade-like hand appeared. Next, Yuan-ji raised his arm and the jade-like hand, the sacred glass bone, flew out to insert itself into a pillar beside the cage. "If you don't win, leave. Don't touch my sacred glass bone." "Haha. That's fine. Then the bed is set." Tsang Ning sat down. Fu Wu stepped forward and opened the door of the cage. Night Sorrow and Li entered the cage. "I don't care what your battle record is. After today, everything will be over." Li pulled out a long sword and coldly looked at Night Sorrow. "Originally, you and I didn't have anything to do with each other, but you came into contact with someone you shouldn't have. You took the first step into the bottomless abyss. I don't want to take things too far. If your main body came in, then leave." "There's still a chance," Night Sorrow said. "It seems that you're prepared. If my main body leaves, then you'll stake everything and fight me with your main body and avatar?" Li scoffed at Night Sorrow's words. "If your main body leaves, then you still have a chance to live." "My main body will leave as well," Night Sorrow said. "Say no more. So what if your main body and avatar fight together? It's not the same as me. I won't advise you to leave. Since you came in, you should be prepared to die." Li waved his hand at Fu Wu, indicating for him to close the door. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation. Fu Wu knew that this was a true life and death battle, a battle that would lead to complete death. From their words, he could tell that both of their main bodies were in the cage. Sometimes, even if you speak the truth, no one will believe you. At this time, Lin Xian, who had left her seat and stood in front of the crystal window, muttered to herself. After Fu Wu locked the door of the cage, he retreated a distance. Looking at Night Sorrow in the cage, Fu Wu felt a little emotional. He had been presiding over the Blood Battle Arena for a long time, but recently, he had been presiding over the real battle. Fu Wu flicked his finger and the soul-seeking gong sounded. The battle began. Li's body moved quickly, and he unsheathed his long sword. Black and white energy appeared on the long sword, and then he slashed at Night Sorrow. The combination of light and dark energy. It was a sword technique that fused two completely different attributes. Night Sorrow waved his space splitter spear, and the space-twisting dragon kill was sent out. Following a loud explosion, the two separated. They were evenly matched in this test of strength. Li's body flashed, and he waved his long sword, attacking Night Sorrow with sword chi. Li's speed was very fast, but Night Sorrow's movement was even faster. He crossed a distance with a single step, and in an instant, he arrived beside Li and attacked with his spear. Li's face was ugly. Night Sorrow's speed was too fast, and had exceeded his estimation. Obliterating space. Li shouted, and then black and white energy erupted from his body, attacking in all directions and forming a space with him as the center. The space was mainly black and white, which was the light and dark energy. In addition, there were also 4 types of energy: earth, water, wind, and fire. Night Sorrow found that Li's skill was similar to Long Xuanqing's chaotic space, but it was much stronger. Of course, Li and Long Xuanqing were not on the same level. Night Sorrow's fighting spirit burst out, and he activated the myriad Dao Tome to protect his body. He rushed into the obliterating space and continued to attack Li. The obliterating space was very powerful, but Night Sorrow's body was like a sharp blade, and he could still attack through it. Li moved quickly in the obliterating space. He did not expect the obliterating space to be ineffective against Night Sorrow. It was not that it was ineffective, but it could not be suppressed. At this time, Li's body flashed, and a series of illusory energy figures appeared behind him. There were a total of 7 illusory energy figures, and there were a total of 8 illusory energy figures. They all rushed towards Night Sorrow. It was the phantom race's innate skill. In the situation where the obliterating space could not suppress Night Sorrow, Li used his innate skill, Phantom Doppelganger. This innate skill was much stronger than Night Sorrow's Phantom Doppelganger body. The main thing was that it had attacking power, and it could be switched with the real body. As long as the illusory energy figures were not destroyed, he would not die. Furthermore, if the avatars were destroyed, he could quickly create another one, unless his energy was exhausted. However, how was this possible? Before his energy was exhausted, how could the real body and the 7 illusory avatars not kill their opponent? At the very least, they would be severely injured. Night Sorrow took a step forward and used the Great Death Obliteration Slash on one of the illusory avatars, directly destroying it. The illusory avatars only had half the strength of the real body, and they could not block Night Sorrow's attack. After one of his avatars was destroyed by Night Sorrow, Li moved his body and replenished his illusory avatars. Then, they all rushed towards Night Sorrow. Chapter 1620. Night Sorrow took a step forward, changed his position, and attacked another energy phantom. He didn't even think about chasing after Li's real body. Li could switch between his real body and his energy phantom, so there was no point in trying to chase after his real body. He knew which one was the doppelganger, but he ignored it. Li was shocked and puzzled because Night Sorrow didn't attack his real body and only attacked his doppelganger. That way, he would consume a lot of energy. If Night Sorrow attacked his real body, it would be more troublesome, making it easier for him to fight. Night Sorrow knew about the phantom race's innate talent, so he knew how to deal with it. This kind of battle situation made Li very uncomfortable. Night Sorrow's movement technique was very fast, and he could escape the pursuit of the phantom energy clones with a single step. Then, he could attack the phantom energy clones at the outermost perimeter. Li's phantom energy clones couldn't withstand Night Sorrow's quick and violent attacks. Night Sorrow looked like he was being chased and attacked, but he was very steady. Every time he attacked, it was effective. Even if he couldn't destroy the doppelganger, he could still send the energy phantom flying. Night Sorrow didn't go to the center of the doppelganger and just fought on the outskirts. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that Night Sorrow had the absolute initiative. Not only was his attacks effective, but his consumption was also less than Li's. After all, controlling 7 energy phantoms consumed a lot of Li's energy. Li tried his best to change the situation, but it was still the same. Night Sorrow wandered around the edge of the obliterating space, grabbing Li's energy phantoms and killing them with his spear. Li, who had consumed a lot of energy, took out 2 elixirs and threw them into his mouth. Those were spirit elixirs to replenish his true energy and soul power. Yuan Ji had prepared them for him. After eating the elixirs, Li waved his long sword and said, "Let's see how long you can hide." After roaring, another human figure appeared behind Li. This figure's aura was extremely condensed. This wasn't an energy phantom but the real body. After Li's main body appeared, he and his doppelganger took up 2 spots in the cage. Annihilation space enveloped the entire cage. Then, Lily's main body also used phantom energy bodies. 14 phantom energy bodies, Lily's main body and doppelganger made a total of 16 figures pouncing towards Night Sorrow. Lily wanted to restrict Night Sorrow's movement space and then kill him in a group battle. If your real body is here, then there's nothing to say. A figure appeared behind Night Sorrow's moving doppelganger. His real body had appeared. Night Sorrow's body was circulating with multicolored light. That was the light produced by the Hautian Divine Pagoda's energy protection. After Night Sorrow's original body appeared, he brandished his reincarnation spear and directly used the True Dragon destructive spell. This move was aimed at the nearest illusory energy body. However, the movement of 6 or 7 of Lily's energy clones were affected. The ones closest to him became still, and the ones further away also became slower. At this moment, Night Sorrow's doppelganger's speed suddenly increased. The Space Splitter Spear quickly attacked and killed all the energy clones affected by the True Dragon destructive spell. It was a huge loss and consumption. 6 or 7 of Lily's energy clones were destroyed in an instant. Lily's expression changed greatly. When his main body and doppelganger moved quickly to avoid the danger, another illusory energy body was created. Night Sorrow's main body turned around and brandished his reincarnation spear. Once again, he used the True Dragon destructive spell. A black halo rippled and shrouded the surroundings. Lily's illusory energy clones were all frozen in the shrouded area. Night Sorrow's doppelganger slashed and arrived at the area where Lily's main body was. With a violent attack, all of Lily's affected illusory clones were destroyed. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation. The spectators were very shocked. Night Sorrow's performance was too strong. Lily was completely suppressed. If this continued, Lily would lose for sure. Lily kept stuffing pills into his mouth to maintain the number of illusory energy clones. He didn't understand why Night Sorrow didn't attack when his main body and doppelganger's positions were very obvious. If Night Sorrow grabbed his main body and doppelganger and attacked, his main body and doppelganger would be able to withstand it. They could even switch positions in an instant to protect Wuyo. Under such circumstances, the illusory energy clones would have a chance to attack. Then let's see how many pills you can eat and how much energy you have left. Night Sorrow glanced at Lily's main body and doppelganger, who were eating pills. His main body continued to use the True Dragon destructive spell, which could bind space and damage souls, while his doppelganger continued to attack. When Lily realized that the situation wasn't right, he controlled all of his illusory energy clones to attack Night Sorrow's doppelganger together with his main body and doppelganger. Since he couldn't attack Night Sorrow's main body, Lily started to attack Night Sorrow's doppelganger that was in charge of killing. As long as he could destroy one of Night Sorrow's doppelganger, he would have a chance. Night Sorrow's doppelganger, who was under siege, used the Space Splitter Spear and the True Dragon destructive spell. Night Sorrow's main body and doppelganger both had the destruction energy. Therefore, both of them could use the True Dragon destructive spell. When Lily approached Night Sorrow's doppelganger, both the doppelganger and the doppelganger were affected by Night Sorrow's True Dragon destructive spell. At this moment, Night Sorrow's main body rushed over. He waved his reincarnation spear and killed all of Lily's imprisoned illusory energy clones. Lily's doppelganger switched places with one of the illusory energy clones on the periphery, so it wasn't killed by Night Sorrow. Lily's main body and doppelganger could switch places with the illusory energy clones. Night Sorrow's main body and doppelganger could also switch places between offense and defense. Defense and offense were equally sharp. Lily had the urge to curse. He was completely restrained. His illusory energy clones weren't his trump card at this moment, but they were a burden that consumed his energy. Lily had no choice but to disperse most of his illusory energy clones, leaving only one to wander around the battle cage. This was used to save his life. When his main body and doppelganger were in danger, they could switch places freely. After doing this, Lily's main body and doppelganger charged towards Night Sorrow. "It's too late to realize it now," Night Sorrow muttered. Both his main body and doppelganger used the afterimage body at the same time. 6 afterimage bodies appeared. After mixing with the main body and doppelganger, 4 of them charged towards Lily's doppelganger. Lily's doppelganger waved his long sword and slashed rapidly. He now had a very strong sense of crisis. The 4 afterimage bodies attacking Lily's doppelganger were all afterimage bodies. Night Sorrow's main body and doppelganger had other targets. Night Sorrow's main body took a step forward and used the True Destructive Dragon spell to attack Lily's main body. His doppelganger flickered and arrived beside Lily's life-saving illusory energy clones. He then used the Sky Splitter Spear to execute the Great Emperor Samsara Slash. This time, Night Sorrow didn't want to imprison or control. He wanted to kill. He didn't want to give Lily's main body, doppelganger, and illusory energy clones a chance to switch places. Lily's main body was affected by the True Destructive Dragon spell. His body was imprisoned and couldn't move. His soul was also injured. Knowing that danger was coming, Lily immediately switched places between his main body and his illusory energy clones. After the switch was completed, Night Sorrow's main body used the Reincarnation Spear to destroy the imprisoned illusory energy clones. Lily's main body and illusory energy clones completed the switch. However, at this moment, the purple halo of the Great Emperor Samsara Slash executed by Night Sorrow's doppelganger landed on Lily's head. It completely affected the surrounding space and Lily's soul. Chapter 1621. Kill. Night Sorrow and his doppelganger attacked at the same time, using some deceptive tactics to kill Lily's original body. The spectators outside the cage all gasped. Night Sorrow's killing power was too strong. Lily's original body and doppelganger attacked with phantom energy clones. It was almost an unbreakable situation, but Night Sorrow managed to kill the original body. Lily's original body, doppelganger, and phantom energy clones could confuse people with lower cultivation levels, but the spectators could still distinguish between the Thearchs and Heaven Monarchs. Hence, they knew that Night Sorrow had killed the most crucial opponent, the original body. Night Sorrow's doppelganger waved his arm and took Lily's original body's storage ring and weapon. Then, he charged at Lily's doppelganger. Lily didn't have time to think about how his original body died instantly. He quickly used phantom energy clones again, at least to protect his doppelganger's life. "I gave you a chance, but you didn't want it. You still have 60% of your energy left. Can you still use phantom energy clones after using 40%? Night Sorrow said. Then, his original body and doppelganger used spatial rend and soul extinguishing slash at the phantom energy clones left behind by Lily. After using the long-range control combat skills, Night Sorrow's doppelganger used True Dragon Destructive Art to attack the phantom energy clones that were blocked by spatial rend. Without any hesitation, Lily's phantom energy clones were destroyed by Night Sorrow's doppelganger. Lily, who had a strong sense of danger, quickly used phantom energy clones again. With 1 phantom energy clones around, he could switch positions when his doppelganger was in danger. It was useless. Lily's phantom energy clones would be controlled by Night Sorrow's long-range attacks and then killed. After experiencing a setback, the battle of attrition was back to a battle of attrition. However, the situation was completely different. At that time, the advantages and disadvantages weren't too obvious. Now, Lily could be killed at any time. Night Sorrow didn't let Lily drag things out. From time to time, he would increase the intensity of his attacks and constantly destroy Lily's phantom energy clones. With a strong sense of danger, Lily always maintained 2 phantom energy clones. If it had only been a phantom, Night Sorrow's ranged attacks and crowd control skills would have instantly destroyed it. This situation only lasted for a while before Lily couldn't hold on any longer. He had consumed too much energy, so he couldn't use the phantom doppelganger. Seeing that his opponent no longer had any life-saving skills, Night Sorrow's main body blocked Li Li's escape route and directly used True Dragon Destruction spell to control Li Li's body. At this time, Yuan Ji, who was sitting on the blood battle platform, stood up and walked outside. After walking a few feet, he stretched out his left hand and the colored glaze saint bone that was originally inserted in the pillar of the cage fell into his hand. With the colored glass saint bone in hand, Yuan Ji left the blood battle arena in a flash. Yuan Ji knew that Li Li had lost. Taking advantage of the fact that things weren't set in stone, he left immediately. "Old man, how dare you!" Tsang Ning was enraged when she saw Yuan Ji running away after taking the bet. Her body flickered as she chased after Yuan Ji. Yuan Ji's actions were tantamount to tearing down the blood battle arena's signboard and slapping the face of a notary like her. How could Tsang Ning tolerate this? She directly started the chase. Inside the cage, Night Sorrow's main body and doppelganger's secret arts landed on Li Li's body and killed him. After collecting the battle spoils, Night Sorrow ran out of the cage opened by Fu Wu. Night Sorrow, that bastard, took the bet and ran away. Datura's face was full of anger. Yuan Ji was too shameless. He didn't even care about his reputation. Not to mention a monarch-level cultivator, even a Saint King would disdain doing such a thing. "Don't worry, he will definitely come up with an explanation," Night Sorrow said. He understood that Yuan Ji couldn't afford to lose this because the colored glass saint bone was a part of his strength. "Night Sorrow, the blood battle arena will handle this matter," Fu Wu said to Night Sorrow. "Don't worry." Night Sorrow nodded. He didn't chase after them. The battle between Tsang Ning and Yuan Ji wasn't something he could participate in. Tsang Ning chased Yuan Ji out of the blood battle arena and kept attacking from behind. Yuan Ji flew quickly and dodged Tsang Ning's sword chi attacks at the same time. Lin Xian, who was watching the battle from the highest pavilion in the blood battle arena, stood up from her seat. "You can't stand without integrity." Lin Xian didn't follow to watch. She was the ethereal battle empress and didn't want to participate in some conflicts. Besides, she also knew that Yuan Ji wasn't Tsang Ning's opponent. At most, he could only protect himself. After a while, Night Sorrow and Datura left the blood battle arena with Hong Yi and the others. Back at the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow brewed a pot of tea. "Ah Luo, there's nothing to be angry about. Yuan Ji will definitely give an explanation. If he doesn't, he won't be able to survive in the ethereal empire." Datura sat down. "I'm just angry. What kind of person is he? He's completely shameless." "What do you mean shameless?" Lin Xian came back and sat opposite Night Sorrow and Datura. Datura told her about what had happened today. Losing his integrity means losing his reputation. His loss is actually much more than the colored glaze sacred bone. "You guys don't have to worry. I think this matter will be resolved," Lin Xian said. Yuan Ji is the great elder of the ethereal empire. Excluding his identity and status, he's very strong. Palace Lord Sung might be able to defeat him, but it'll be difficult for him to get back what he lost. The key is what the ethereal battle empress thinks of this matter and how she'll deal with it, Night Sorrow said as he poured a cup of water for Lin Xian. What do you think of this matter?" Lin Xian asked Night Sorrow after receiving the tea. "The ethereal battle empress will definitely deal with it, but she won't be too strict. After all, they've been subordinates for many years. However, if the ethereal battle empress is a sensible person, she won't let Yuan Ji be the great elder of the ethereal empire. If such a person with no integrity and integrity continues to be the great elder, it'll be an insult to countless people in the ethereal empire. It'll also cause the ethereal empire's prestige and fortune to decline," Night Sorrow said. "That's right. I think the ethereal battle empress will make the same arrangement. How can a person with no integrity be in a high position?" Lin Xian looked at Night Sorrow and smiled. She had already made up her mind. She asked to see what Night Sorrow thought of this matter. Regarding the recovery of the bet, Lin Xian decided to wait and see how Tsang-Ning would deal with it. She couldn't tolerate this matter, because it involved the face of the ethereal empire. After sitting for a while, Lin Xian left the Night Moon Villa and returned to the City Lord Mansion, waiting for the situation to develop. Regardless of whether it was Yuan Ji or Tsang-Ning, one of them would definitely come looking for her. Both Tsang-Ning and Yuan Ji were Emperor Realm cultivators, and their cultivation bases were similar. It would be very difficult to kill one of them. Yuan Ji chose to run instead of fighting, and Tsang-Ning couldn't do anything to him. Even if he scolded him, Yuan Ji wouldn't talk back. "If you keep running, I'll kill my way to your Yuan family." Tsang-Ning couldn't do anything to Yuan Ji, so he said, "Tsang-Ning, remember this. I'm not done with you." Yuan Ji was also very angry. If Tsang-Ning hadn't interfered, he wouldn't be in such a miserable state. Top 3. Chapter 1622. Right now, they were already some distance away from Ethereal City. Tsang-Ning turned around and rushed back. If Yuan Ji did not want to fight, she would not be able to kill him in a short time. She might as well go back and deal with his foundation. As Tsang-Ning walked back, Yuan Ji followed far behind. He was naturally worried that Tsang-Ning would cause trouble, which would cause him great losses. Tsang-Ning turned his head and glanced at Yuan Ji, who was following him from afar. "You dare to be shameless in front of me? I, Tsang-Ning, will not tolerate it. Later, I will challenge you to a duel under the blood battle platform." Tsang-Ning sped up. Hearing Tsang-Ning's words, Yuan Ji knew that he had gotten himself into big trouble. Tsang-Ning would not let this matter go. "Tsang-Ning, we can talk. Tell me, how can you let go?" After thinking for a while, Yuan Ji opened his mouth. "If you want to solve this, take out the colored glass Saint Bone, and I will not pursue this matter. Otherwise, you will not be able to live in peace. I will eradicate the Yuan family first, then kill you." Tsang-Ning turned around and shouted. She was truly angry now. Yuan Ji did not reply, because he would not hand over the colored glass Saint Bone no matter what. That would cause him to lose 1/3 of his battle power, which would hurt his foundation. If the Yuan family suffered a blow, he would have a chance to recover. Even if he could not survive in Ethereal Imperial City, he could go somewhere else to develop. However, a treasure like the colored glass Saint Bone was something that he could not afford to lose. He would not have the chance to get it again. Translator, Nyoibo Studio Editor, Nyoibo Studio. Returning to Ethereal Imperial City, Tsang-Ning flew all the way. Whenever she saw the Yuan family's properties, she would directly rob them and set them on fire. She had broken the rules of Ethereal Imperial City. However, if this matter reached Ethereal Battle Emperor, she would not be the one in the wrong. It was Yuan Ji who did not follow the rules and violated the Blood Battle Stage's rules first. Yuan Ji, who was following behind, thought for a while and did not continue to follow. Instead, he left. After leaving, Yuan Ji took the teleportation array back to the Yuan family. He quickly gathered the important members of the family and sent out a notice to gather all the family's resources. Then, he quickly left and hid in the Sky General region. The Sky General region was where Yuan Ji was born, and was ruled by the Yuan family. With Tsang-Ning going crazy, Yuan Ji had no choice but to make some preparations. The situation was too serious, and it was normal for Tsang-Ning to fight his way into the Yuan family's territory. If he did not make some preparations, he would suffer a great loss. After plundering a few of the Yuan family's properties, Tsang-Ning went to the mayor's mansion. Although he found out that Lin Xianer was there, he did not go to see her. Tsang-Ning subconsciously did not want to bring trouble to Lin Xianer. She felt that if she went to talk to her, Lin Xianer would have to deal with it and some things would be difficult for her. When they arrived at the Tsang-Ning army's encampment, Tsang-Ning called for another general, Su Fei. Take the people and clean out the Yuan family's power and properties in the Ethereal Imperial City. However, all the resources must be handed over to the city lord mansion. Tsang Ning said. Tsang Ning was attacking the Yuan family to vent his anger and protect the dignity of the blood battle platform. However, he had no intention of benefiting himself. In addition, the management of the city lord's mansion's resources was not something that Yuan Ji, the Grand Elder, could control by himself. Yuan family. Elder Yuan's family? The middle-aged man in black robes, Su Fei, asked. Yes, there is no need to worry. I will bear all the consequences. Tsang Ning said. The consequences are not important. I just want to confirm it. I will go now. Su Fei cupped his hands towards Tsang Ning and then went to gather the people. Su Fei was the #1 general of the Tsang Ning army. He had also reached a bottleneck and was looking for a breakthrough. Therefore, Tsang Ning would not look for him for ordinary matters. After Su Fei gathered the people, Tsang Ning went to the Night Moon Villa. Some things were her mistakes, and she had to give Night Sorrow an explanation. Whether it was from the perspective of a friend or from the perspective of a champion of the blood battle platform, she had to greet him. When Tsang Ning arrived, Night Sorrow was talking with Datura. The two of them were discussing whether they should buy some properties in the ethereal imperial city and find something that could provide them with a continuous income. Night Sorrow, today's matter was my mistake. I am already dealing with it. Tsang Ning said. Boss Tsang, have a seat. It is not a big deal. Yuan Ji's move was also unexpected. What he did was indeed a loss to me, but his loss was even greater. To him, the glass Saint Bone is his life, but to me, it is just an external object. Night Sorrow smiled. He knew that Tsang Ning was feeling guilty, and this was not something he wanted to see. It is rare for you to think like this. It will be hard to get the glass Saint Bone back. I can suppress him, but I cannot kill him. He is only running now, and there is nothing I can do. However, if I cannot get the glass Saint Bone back, then this matter will not be over. I set fire to some of the properties of the Yuan family. Right now, the Tsang Ning army has already launched an all-out attack on the Yuan family. Tsang Ning explained some of his arrangements. Boss Tsang, this is not appropriate. This kind of conflict is not what the Misty Battle Emperor wants to see. It will only bring trouble to you. Please stop. As for the anger, we will think of something later. Night Sorrow said. He did not want to anger the Misty Battle Emperor and make Tsang Ning suffer because of this matter. Do not worry. If the Battle Emperor has made a decision, he will summon me. Tsang Ning shook her head. She naturally understood that Lin Xianer knew the whole story. If there were any arrangements, she would come to her. If not, she could do whatever she wanted. If that is the case, then I will not say anything more. But, Boss Tsang, remember this. This matter is nothing to me. I will remember it. But, I am not in a hurry. As long as I am alive, as long as I work hard, he will give me an answer sooner or later. You must not bring trouble to yourself because of this. Night Sorrow poured a cup of tea for Tsang Ning. He. Even at this time, you are still thinking about your friend. Wu Feng has a good eye for a brother. I have not misjudged you either. Tsang Ning smiled. She was very pleased. This was what a friend should be like. Haha, of course. Night Sorrow nodded. Seeing Tsang Ning smile, he felt a bit more at ease. He truly did not want to bring trouble to Tsang Ning. At this time, Wu Feng came over. His face was not looking good. Tsang Ning, you have made a move against the Yuan family. What do you need me to do? What is going on today? I am very pleased with the attitude of you two brothers. One of you is thinking about me and is afraid that I will get involved. The other, who has been unwilling to help me for many years, is also taking the initiative to help. Tsang Ning said. What are you talking about? Who is unwilling to help you? It is because you have not been in trouble all these years. I do not care if you bully others, but if anyone bullies you, I will not allow it. Wu Feng said. Wufeng, I am very sorry. Only now do I truly understand you. Tsang Ning cupped her hands towards Wufeng. Wufeng's words had touched a chord in her heart. Chapter 1623. Stop sighing. You have already made a move on the Yuan family, so you have to have a plan. You have to consider the consequences and the consequences. Shut up. Wufeng said. Then I will not hold back. Right now, the problem is Yuan Ji. He does not want to fight with me. Seeing me make a move, he runs. His godly step art is very advanced. Without the influence of fighting, I cannot do anything to him. So, if he dares to come out, you help me stop him. Don't run. I will kill him no matter what. Tsang Ning was very angry. All right, I will follow you these 2 days. If we see him, we will kill him. Wufeng nodded. Tsang Ning nodded, feeling very gratified. Although he had been tricked by Yuan Ji, seeing Night Sorrow and Wufeng as friends was enough for him. What do you need me to do? Night Sorrow asked. I will not be in the blood battle arena these few days. You go there every day and take care of the situation. If there are any troublemakers or people who challenge the reputation of the blood battle arena, you will kill them for me. Tsang Ning took out a token and pushed it in front of Night Sorrow. All right, if it is not a monarch grade, I will help you. If it is a monarch grade, I can't do anything about it. They will kill me in 2 or 3 moves. Night Sorrow put away the token with the word battle on it. I don't like to bully the weak. If an emperor level wants to cause trouble in the blood battle arena, just inject your energy into the token. I'll deal with it. Tsang Ning nodded at Yishan. After chatting for a while, Tsang Ning and Wufeng left. Tsang Ning's army was attacking the Yuan family, so they had to watch and make sure nothing went wrong. After arranging for the important people of the family to retreat, Yuan Ji thought for a while and returned to the ethereal imperial city. There were some things he had to take care of, and it would be best if he could solve them. When Yuan Ji arrived at the ethereal imperial city, he saw that the Yuan family's businesses were in a mess. He did not expect Tsang Ning to really do such a thing. If this continued, there would be no chance of reconciliation. After thinking for a while, Yuan Ji arrived at the city lord mansion. When he arrived, Yuan Ji found Lin Xianer there, so he hurried to see her. Lord Battle Emperor, please stop Tsang Ning. She's gone mad. She's been attacking my properties. She's committed all sorts of crimes. Yuan Ji bowed. Then why? Lin Xianer, who had been resting on the city lord's chair with her eyes closed, opened her eyes. Yuan Ji thought for a moment and said, I might have offended her, so she's trying to get revenge. You don't even care about your face for the sake of the colored glass sacred bone. You slapped Tsang Ning's face, and Tsang Ning retaliated. Is that her fault? What kind of philosophy is this? Is it because I have let you do whatever you want all these years that you have no boundaries in doing things? Or do you think that nothing matters? Lin Xianer's eyes were filled with a cold light. She was disgusted with the attitude of someone who could cause trouble but could not handle it. The only authentic version, the rest are all pirated versions. Yuan Ji bowed. I know I was wrong, but please help me this time. First of all, you lost the Drifting Cloud Mountain Manor. That was the place I gave you to settle down. It's fine if you don't want it. I won't make a fuss about it. Then, you used the colored glass sacred bone to gamble. Didn't you think of losing? There are winners and losers in gambling. You didn't admit your loss and went to slap the face of the blood battle arena's champion? Or do you, as the great elder, intend to slap the face of the ethereal empire with your lack of credibility? Lin Xianer stood up. In her heart, if it was Tsang Ning who came to find her, then it was still acceptable. However, Yuan Ji came to talk bad about Tsang Ning. This was not something she could tolerate. Tsang Ning was her subordinate. She would treat her equally in official matters. Apart from the status of a subordinate, Tsang Ning was still her family and was her sister. Lord Battle Emperor, I know I was wrong. Please give me another chance. The corner of Yuan Ji's eyes twitched. He knew that Lin Xianer was angry. You don't have a chance. Seeing that you've followed this king for so many years, this king won't kill you, nor will I ask for the colored glass sacred bone from you. It belongs to whoever it belongs to, and this king doesn't care who it belongs to in the future. However, you, Yuan Ji, are no longer an elder of the Misty Dynasty. The city lord's mansion forbids you from entering. Lin Xianer's words were not only heard by Yuan Ji, but also by everyone in the Ethereal Empire. This was because Lin Xianer's words were transmitted using the rules of heaven and earth. Yuan Ji bowed and left the city lord mansion. Lin Xianer was furious, but he didn't dare to argue. If she wanted to kill him, he wouldn't have the power to fight back. After leaving the city lord mansion, Yuan Ji quickly flew to the Yuan family's businesses that hadn't been cleaned out yet to collect resources before retreating. He knew that without his status as the head elder of the Ethereal City Lord Mansion, he wouldn't be able to establish himself in the Ethereal Empire. With his status as the Grand Elder, only Tsang Ning dared to go against him. No one else dared to make a move against him. However, things were different now that the Ethereal Battle Emperor had stripped him of his status as the Grand Elder of the City Lord's Mansion. As long as Tsang Ning gave the order, the 7 prefecture lords would come to his aid. There were many people who disliked him. Yuan Ji quickly collected resources to avoid losses. However, the Tsang Ning army was even faster. Right now, Peng Wanli and Kei Wu had also brought their people to join the cleanup. The Tsang Ning army was like a tiger and a wolf. Their style was fast, and their cleanup speed was extremely fast. Yuan Ji didn't manage to get many resources. He had to hide from the 3 leaders of the Tsang Ning army. None of them could beat him, but he couldn't kill them quickly either. During this time, Tsang Ning and the other leaders of the Tsang Ning army would arrive, and that would be his nightmare. Seeing the Tsang Ning army take the lead and destroy his businesses, Yuan Ji was furious. Tsang Ning, you bitch. I will kill you for sure. After cursing Tsang Ning, Yuan Ji left the Ethereal Imperial City. If you dare to touch her, you won't have the chance to leave here alive next time. A human figure appeared behind Yuan Ji. It was Lin Xianer. After Yuan Ji left the city lord's residence, Lin Xianer hid in the dark. She was worried that Yuan Ji would make a move and that Tsang Ning wouldn't take precautions. She was also worried that Yuan Ji would go to extremes and cause trouble at the Night Moon Villa. She was very angry when she heard that Yuan Ji wanted to kill Tsang Ning. She always knew that Yuan Ji didn't do things openly, but she didn't expect him to have no bottom line. Seeing that Yuan Ji had left, Lin Xianer thought for a moment. Then, she went to the Night Moon Villa. When she arrived at the Night Moon Villa, the coldness on her face disappeared and was replaced by a faint smile. Which one is me? Lin Xianer muttered to herself as she entered the Night Moon Villa. Sister Xianer, you're back. Did you hear the Battle Empress announcement? It's just as we expected. Looks like she's still very fair. Knight Sorrow said when he saw Lin Xianer. Of course. Do you think she's not fair? Lin Xianer looked at Knight Sorrow and asked with a smile. She wanted to know what Knight Sorrow thought of the Ethereal Battle Empress. Speak. Chapter 1624. What I said just now was a little wrong. Fairness and justice are relative. Knight Sorrow shook his head after hearing Lin Xianer's words. Looks like you have a lot of opinions of your own. Let's sit down and talk. I want to hear what you think of the word fairness. Lin Xianer sat down and said. Everyone has their own judgment of fairness. In fact, this has a lot to do with the way people do things. Let me first talk about my opinion. I won't hide it from Sister Xianer. I am a domain lord and I will do my best to be fair in terms of management. However, I have brothers and friends. If they cause trouble, I will educate them myself. If the problem is too big, I will punish them myself. I will not allow others to beat or scold them. Of course, if their conduct is bad, they will not be my friends or brothers. Night Sorrow said with a smile. That's very insightful. Lin Xian nodded. Everyone has feelings. Besides fairness, there are also feelings. The benevolent see benevolence, the wise see wisdom. Night Sorrow added. The two sides in this conflict are Yuan Ji and Song Ning, both subordinates of the War Emperor. Not to mention how long Song Ning has been with the War Emperor, Yuan Ji's character is not good. This is the fundamental problem. Therefore, he was stripped of his position as Great Elder. Lin Xian smiled. She felt that Night Sorrow had the same thoughts as her. This bastard cheated us of a part of the colored glass sacred bone. This matter is not over. Datura was still angry. It's not important. Actually, my body is the colored glass bone. If I enter the Emperor realm, my body will be the colored glass golden bone. How am I inferior to him? Night Sorrow said with a smile. Shoo. Yi Shang, don't speak carelessly. It's not a good thing to be targeted by someone with dark intentions. Treasuring a jade ring becomes a crime. The saying goes that the most you'll lose is the treasure. If you've been schemed against, what will you lose? Lin Xian waved her hand to interrupt Yi Shang. I know. I won't spout nonsense in the future. Night Sorrow nodded. After receiving news about the colored glass body and colored glass bone, Night Sorrow judged his own body. His bones were sparkling and translucent. That was the colored glass bone. You really have to be careful in the future. Lin Xian reminded Night Sorrow. She also understood that Night Sorrow truly treated her as a friend, otherwise he would not have mentioned this matter. Night Sorrow stood up and said, Aluo, you accompany Sister Xian Air. I'll go to the blood battle arena to take a look. I'll do what Song Ning asked me to do. What did she ask you to do? She's not going to do it herself? Lin Xian asked. Boss Tsang is really angry this time, so she's not done with Yuan Ji. She's probably going after Yuan Ji right now. She wants me to go to the blood battle arena to help her. If anyone dares to cause trouble, she'll kill them, Night Sorrow said. I heard from Song Ning that you just joined the blood battle arena. Will the people there recognize you? Lin Xian asked. Then I'll try to see if this token works. Night Sorrow showed Song Ning's token to Lin Xian and left. Song Ning is a good friend. Friends should look out for each other. Lin Xian looked at Night Sorrow's back and sighed. Datura smiled, aren't we also your friends? If you have something to do, Night Sorrow won't refuse. Lin Xian nodded. She knew what the blood battle token was. It was the highest token in the blood battle arena, and she had personally refined it. Song Ning giving this token to Night Sorrow was a sign of complete trust. Night Sorrow did not let Song Ning down. Looking at Datura, Lin Xian took out a black stone and handed it to Datura. What's this? Looking at the stone in front of him, Datura was a little surprised because the stone was emitting a very strong aura. It's the origin stone of destruction. Night Sorrow has the underworld stone. I can tell that this stone has the same effect as the underworld stone. You're now a half-step Great Emperor, a cultivator of the death attribute. When you reach the Great Emperor realm, your specialty is the domain of death. The power of the domain of death is enough to deal with ordinary Great Emperor realm cultivators, but it's inevitable that there will be strong opponents. Since you've refined the origin stone of destruction, the power of the domain of death will increase by a lot. You can give it a try. Lin Xian said. Thank you, Sister Xian Datura cupped his hands towards Lin Xian You're welcome. Don't tell Night Sorrow about this. We're all friends. I don't want him to feel that I owe him a favor because of this. That would go against my original intention. Lin Xian said. Datura nodded. He understood Lin Xian's meaning. When they arrived at the blood battle arena, Night Sorrow and Fu Wu drank tea and chatted in a private room. Night Sorrow told Fu Wu about Song Ning's intentions and also showed him the token that Song Ning had given him. "Greetings, Lord." After seeing the token, Fu Wu stood up and saluted Night Sorrow. "Brother Fu, what are you doing?" Night Sorrow reached out and helped Fu Wu up. The blood battle token is the highest token in the blood battle arena. Seeing it is like seeing the champion. Fu Wu said. "Boss Song, this is too serious. Brother Fu, I don't know the rules here. If you need me to fight, just let me know. I won't care about anything else." Night Sorrow said. Fu Wu nodded. He still didn't understand why Song Ning had given the blood battle token to Night Sorrow. With the blood battle token, one could even empty the blood battle arena's storehouse. There were at least 30 million Saint Spirit stones there. After Fu Wu left, Night Sorrow sat in the private room and meditated. At this moment, the ethereal dynasty was undergoing a huge change. The properties that originally belonged to the Yuan clan were swept away and taken back by the City Lord Mansion. Why, although the Yuan clan had suffered a great blow, Song Ning didn't get any benefits from it. This was her principle. The ethereal dynasty didn't belong to her. After cleaning up the Yuan clan's influence in the ethereal imperial city, Song Ning and Wu Feng led the Song Ning army directly to the Yuan clan's territory and occupied the main city, Yuan City. However, the city was already empty. There were no important people there, and the Yuan clan's core members and resources had all disappeared. "Shameless old man, running fast," Song Ning said with hatred. She was very angry that she couldn't catch Yuan Ji. Under such circumstances, she owed Night Sorrow an explanation. "Song Ning, don't be angry. The effect this time is enough. Night Sorrow won't care about this." Wu Feng already knew the whole story. "I know. I'm just angry that Yuan Ji can be so shameless. I didn't guard against him at that time," Song Ning said. She really didn't expect Yuan Ji to go back on his words. "You can't be blamed for this." He gave up his face. "Let's deal with this here and go back. You need to report this to the Battle Emperor as well," Wu Feng said. Night Sorrow stayed in the blood battle arena until evening. After watching the battle, he returned to the Night Moon Villa. At the entrance of the villa, he saw Luo Yuandao and Luo Fei in black robes. Chapter 1625. Seeing the two of them, Night Sorrow's fighting spirit burst out. He grabbed the space-splitting spear with his right hand. "Don't misunderstand. We're just here to visit. We don't have any hostility," Luo Yuandao said. "Principal Luo, we don't have any friendship. Don't you think it's too fake?" Night Sorrow was still very vigilant. Luo Yuandao looked at Yi Shang and said, "Teacher Yi, you're overthinking things. This is a residence that was given to us by the Battle Emperor. No one would dare to attack this place. Yuan Ji's status as the Great Elder was abolished by the Battle Emperor. Do you think I would go and test the Battle Emperor's authority? Principal Luo, please." After listening to Luo Yuandao's words, Night Sorrow knew that Luo Yuandao didn't have any malicious intentions. The truth was as Luo Yuandao had said. Entering the Night Moon Manor to cause trouble was tantamount to challenging Sir Battle Emperor's authority. It was courting death. Night Sorrow invited Luo Yuandao and Luo Fei into the hall of the Night Moon Manor. Night Sorrow still couldn't figure out what Luo Yuandao meant. Night Sorrow hadn't figured out the reason why Luo Yuandao had directly retreated in the blood battle arena. After sitting down, Luo Yuandao smiled. Sir Battle Emperor gave this mansion to Yuan Ji because he was the Great Elder. Therefore, this is the best mansion. I was just lucky, that's all, Yi Shan said. We had some conflicts a while ago. This is our Shadow Mansion's fault. We linked it to you because of an assassin. Besides, it's true that the assassin completed the task, but the root of the problem lies with the person who gave the task. It has nothing to do with you or the assassin. Luo Yuandao said after sitting down. Principal Luo, you're very courageous. Knight Sorrow cupped his hands towards Luo Yuandao. Luo Yuandao had directly made his attitude clear. Although it wasn't magnanimity, it was at least courage. There's no courage or lack of courage. We did something to you in the blood battle arena. This is something we owe you. Therefore, we're here to resolve this misunderstanding. Luo Yuandao stared at Knight Sorrow and said. Since Prefecture Lord Luo has personally paid a visit, I, Yi Shang, will not hold a grudge against the Heaven Monarch challenge from the Umbra Prefecture. Fights between cultivators are common. Even if it isn't a misunderstanding, it can still be resolved. Yi Shang expressed his attitude. Luo Yuandao's words. Luo Yuandao. Luo Yuandao, and good. S. Master. There were no fools in this world. Luo Yuandao taught his children to not treat others as fools. Luo Fei understood that Knight Sorrow knew that they knew that Knight Sorrow was the one who killed his main body. There was no point in hiding it. If they wanted to build a good relationship, they had to show their attitude. This way, the visit wouldn't be wasted. After all, his father had lowered himself to visit. Luo Fei knew that he had to seize the opportunity. All right. I will definitely drink this wine. Young Principal's main body was destroyed, but he didn't hold a grudge against the assassin. Knight Sorrow is impressed. I think the assassin didn't have any grudges with young Principal. He was just carrying out a mission and didn't involve anything else. Knight Sorrow said. All right. You are young and have many topics to talk about. Let's meet more in the future. Master Knight, you can visit the Shadow Mansion when you are free. I will take my leave first. Luo Yuandao stood up. He was here to express his attitude. Knight Sorrow personally sent Luo Yuandao and Luo Fei out of the Night Moon Manor. Knight Sorrow, what is the relationship between this father and son? They made things clear and even showed a friendly attitude. Datura was a little puzzled. Luo Yuandao isn't simple. He is a real ambitious person who can rise and fall. They knew that I killed Luo Fei's main body long ago. They must have analyzed it from the Green Lotus Jade bracelet. Besides, Luo Fei has some memories of my aura. That's why he sent a Heaven Monarch to fight with me. However, after Tsang Ning expressed his attitude, he retreated without hesitation. This means that he doesn't want to be my enemy and offend Tsang Ning. Knight Sorrow said. He had his own analysis. Indeed, to be able to do this is courage. His son is also very capable. His main body was destroyed, but he still said that he didn't hold a grudge. Whether it is true or not, this is very rare. Datura nodded. It should be true. Whoever has killing intent or enmity towards me won't be able to hide it from me. The light of virtue will react. We have to establish ourselves in the Ethereal Empire and understand the key figures in the Ethereal Empire in the future. Knight Sorrow said. After today's incident, he knew that he had to pay attention to Luo Yuandao and Luo Fei. You guys are a little slow. I have already done some understanding of some people, but you guys haven't even started. Lin Xian smiled and sat opposite Knight Sorrow. Then, Lin Xian told Knight Sorrow that the first among the 7 prefecture lords of the Ethereal Empire was Tsang Ning, followed by Luo Yuandao and Lin Qixing. Tsang Ning's strength was publicly acknowledged. He was in the top 3 in the Ethereal Empire, followed by Luo Yuandao. Luo Yuandao's strongest point is his ability to judge the situation and develop according to the general trend. Apart from combat strength, he is the best among the 7 prefecture lords. He can rise and fall and has a long-term vision. This could be seen from the son he brought with him today. He has many children, so why did he bring his son, whose original body was destroyed and has yet to recover, out on business? It's because he thinks highly of this son of his, because he thinks that this son of his has a bright future. You've all seen that kid's attitude just now. He's definitely someone who knows when to yield and when to stand tall. With such a strong mannerhead as his father, how could he have the heart to endure such humiliation? How could he have no future? Lin Xian said. Actually, this was not a result of investigation. No one understood the situation of the upper echelons of the ethereal empire better than her. Sister Xian, can you be sure that their attitude today is friendly? Datura asked. It should be. If it is just a trick, Luo Yuandao doesn't need to come personally. The butler and capable subordinates can bring Luo Fei to visit. After all, he is still a prefecture lord. It is impossible for him to use his face as a trick, Lin Xian said. That's good. What I am most worried about now is falling into a trap, Datura said. Although Yuan Ji has been stripped of his position as the Great Elder, he still has some remaining forces. There are some others who will not let it go. After being slapped in the face by you guys, some of them will not be able to take it, Lin Xian reminded Knight Sorrow. Lin Xian understood the 7 prefecture lords. She knew that with Gong Yufan and Yang Tianlia's personalities, they would not be able to take it lying down. They would definitely think of ways to kill Knight Sorrow. Latest chapter, D at Section W. Chapter 1626. When Gong Yufan saw the receptionist at the Divine Devil Castle, he asked for the price of killing Knight Sorrow. Now that Yuan Ji was about to die, Gong Yufan had to think of a way to kill Knight Sorrow. Knight Sorrow's existence made the moon-gazing mansion lose face. The receptionist at the Divine Devil Castle reported Gong Yufan's request to Elder Lengyu. Elder Lengyu thought for a moment and asked for a huge price. Then, he asked for the receptionist to arrange it. After hearing the price, Gong Yufan was stunned. This was the first time he had heard of such a high price for a mission below the imperial level. However, to vent his anger, he took out a Saint Spirit stone and gave the mission. As long as he could kill Knight Sorrow, he didn't care about the price. After Gong Yufan left, Elder Lengyu drank a cup of tea and took the teleportation array to the Divine Devil Castle in the Eastern Hao District. Leng Lai arrived at the Divine Devil Castle in the Eastern Hao District. Elder Chiu received him. Elder Leng, why did you come to the Eastern Hao District? Elder Chiu was surprised to see Leng Lai. I'm here to give you a mission to help the younger generation, said Leng Lai after sitting down. Elder Leng, why can't I understand what you're saying? Elder Chiu was surprised. Knight Sorrow killed the son of the Eastern Hao Mountain's great elder, Xian. Xian was evil and deserved to be killed. However, Knight Sorrow and the Eastern Hao Mountain have karma. This karma is not good. I want to help him deal with it. Elder Lengyu took out the mission list and handed it to Elder Chiu. A mission to assassinate him. Elder Leng, are you looking for me because you plan to let the members of Donghao Mountain and the God-Fiend Castle take on this mission? Elder Chiu looked at the mission list and understood Elder Lengyu's intentions. Yes, that's what I meant. Both sides will kill each other and end the karma without knowing, said Elder Lengyu. Isn't this asking people to die? Elder Chiu frowned. He knew that it was almost impossible for cultivators below the imperial level to kill Knight Sorrow. Isn't survival of the fittest the law of this world? The mission did not have to be accepted. The person who accepted the mission had a choice. Let's give them a chance to clash again. As for who can seize the opportunity, that's a problem for both of them. This is a test for both of us and Knight Sorrow, Leng Lai said. Good. Then we'll do as you say, Elder Leng. Knight Sorrow has been given a mission. From the looks of it, he's quite a troublemaker. However, to be able to be hated by others and force them to the point where they need a God-Fiend castle to resolve the matter, it's quite a feat. Elder Chiu put away the mission list. Leng Lai cupped his hands at Elder Chiu and left the Eastern Hao District. When Elder Lengyu returned, Elder Nalan also returned from his work. The two of them discussed the mission. That's a good idea. Although it's against the rules of giving a mission to one's own people, it's a trial for Knight Sorrow, Elder Nalan said. What I'm doing is not against the rules. If he can do it, I plan to recommend him to the higher-ups, Ling Lai said as he looked at Elder Nalan. The God-Fiend Castle didn't give missions to its own people, so Ling Lai had accepted the mission to assassinate Isaro. It didn't seem reasonable, but the God-Fiend Castle had a promotion test. The status, position, and authority of the members of the God-Fiend Castle were completely different. I was a little confused at first. Why did you decide to accept the mission? Now I understand. Just treat it as a test. Elder Nalan's confusion was resolved. Knight Sorrow placed the Hautian Godly Pagoda behind the main building of the Night Moon Villa. His true body entered cultivation while his doppelganger cultivated combat skills. After the battle with Li Li, Knight Sorrow felt that he could not underestimate the cultivators in the world. There were many talented cultivators. If he wanted to gain a foothold, his own strength was the key. Not only was the doppelganger in the Night Moon Villa cultivating combat skills, but Knight Sorrow's doppelganger in the Heaven Sealing Palace was also cultivating. Knight Sorrow felt that as the Nine Regions world developed, his doppelganger in the Heaven Sealing Palace was also getting stronger. It could even be said that his deduction ability had improved. Yuan Ji had fallen from power, and the Heavenly Sun Prefecture did not send anyone to torment Knight Sorrow. Yang Tianlai had seen Knight Sorrow's strength at the blood battle stage. Not to mention a Heaven Monarch, even a pseudo-thearch would not have a chance of winning. Yang Tianlai was very clear about Knight Sorrow's strength. As Li Li was someone Yang Tianlai had found, he had recommended Li Li to Yuan Ji. At that time, Yuan Ji had given the puppet to Li Li in front of him. With the Phantom Race's innate talent and the puppet, Yang Tianyu thought that Knight Sorrow would definitely die. However, the result was completely different from what he had imagined. Li Li had always wanted to use the puppet as a trump card to counterattack Knight Sorrow. In the end, his true body was suddenly destroyed, and the puppet became a decoration, becoming Knight Sorrow's spoils of war. Although Li Li did not display the puppet's power, Yang Tianyu was very clear about his own battle strength. Without the appearance of a particularly powerful Heaven Monarch, Yang Tianyu would not send anyone to challenge Knight Sorrow again. After a few days of peace, Zhang Ning and Wu Feng both returned. The Yuan clan's power had been wiped out, and that region was currently under the direct control of the Misty Dynasty. Knight Sorrow invited Zhang Ning and Wu Feng to drink. When the banquet was about to end, Knight Sorrow took out the blood battle token, Boss Tsang. There was nothing much to do these days. Since you are back, you can take the token back. Just take it. You are a guest of the blood battle platform. It is not inappropriate for you to take the token back. Zhang Ning did not want to take it back. But I have asked around. The blood battle token is the highest token in the blood battle platform. It is exclusive to you, the champion. Knight Sorrow said. He did not understand before, but now he knew what the blood battle token represented. Just take it. Also, Yuan Ji has disappeared. I asked someone to divine that he is no longer in the celestial realm. He has left the celestial realm to hide. The origin of the Yuan clan is the Sky General region. However, the connection with the Sky General region has been cut off. For now, we cannot do anything to him. However, don't worry. As long as he dares to come out, I will definitely snatch the glass bone back for you. Zhang Ning said. Yuan Ji was shameless and did not keep his word. He took the bet and ran away. Zhang Ning felt that he owed Knight Sorrow. Original chapter, Section RX, Top N, it's not a big deal. I went up against him, so we're rivals and enemies. Although I didn't get the glaze bone to attack his strength, his prestige, status, and power have all been destroyed. We've achieved our goal. Boss Tsang, don't mention this again in the future, Knight Sorrow said to Zhang Ning. Zhang Ning nodded. He knew that Knight Sorrow did not care, although the glass bone was very precious. Brother, you have to be careful. Although Yuan Ji has gone into hiding, he still desires the Sky Law Flower. He might jump out at any time to harm you. Wu Feng said. Don't worry, big brother. I will be careful. I am not strong enough. I have to cultivate hard. Night Sorrow said. Tsang Ning and Wu Feng left. Night Sorrow found a sky monarch of the Guanyue mansion and issued a challenge. Then, he continued to cultivate. He would not give up on the Guanyue mansion. Lin Xianer knew about this, but she did not want to care. Gong Yufan of the Guanyue mansion had no bottom line. She also felt disgusted. Chapter 1627. Everyone had their own likes and dislikes, and they had their own standards of conduct. Lin Xianer understood this, but Gong Yufan's actions did not match her standards of conduct. It did not match her management philosophy, so Lin Xianer did not want to interfere. In addition, it involved Night Sorrow. She admired Night Sorrow's character and way of doing things. On this day, Night Sorrow, who was cultivating his spear, suddenly stopped. The aura on his body changed. It was a mysterious aura. His body stood there, but it gave people the feeling that he was beyond this world. Nihility Heaven and Earth. Night Sorrow's battle intent and will of the Nihility Heaven and Earth had successfully merged. This was a domain unique to the Emperor realm. Night Sorrow had just formed his Nihility Heaven and Earth domain. He hadn't reached the critical point yet. If he continued to cultivate and comprehend it, when his Nihility Heaven and Earth domain matured and reached 10% of the momentum of Heaven and Earth, he would be an emperor. Datura, who had been cultivating her blade, was extremely happy. She knew that Night Sorrow had entered the Half-Emperor realm. Although she had entered the Half-Emperor realm earlier than Night Sorrow, Datura was very clear that her battle strength could not be compared to Night Sorrow's because Night Sorrow's attributes were supreme. Night Sorrow's attributes were extreme and tyrannical. He was an overlord among those of the same level, so it was difficult for him to achieve anything. This was also why Night Sorrow had entered the Emperor realm slower than Datura. Of course, this was also because Datura had merged with Datura Chinensis. The scene froze. Night Sorrow stood there without moving, but the aura on his body and the energy around his body kept changing. Night Sorrow's body gave people a feeling of unreality. This was the effect of the Nihility Heaven and Earth. After half a day, Night Sorrow's arm shook, and he put away the Space Splitter spear. Then, he went to Datura's side. Night Sorrow, congratulations. Datura took out a jar of wine and poured a cup for himself and Night Sorrow. It is indeed worth drinking. We have reached the celestial realm, and we can be considered to have gained something. If we go one step further, we will have completed our original goal of coming to the celestial realm. Night Sorrow took a sip of wine and said. Yishang's first goal in coming to the heaven realm was to break the shackles that prevented the primal chaos realm from producing an emperor. The primal chaos realm's momentum of heaven and earth was insufficient, so it was very difficult to comprehend the momentum of heaven and earth. It could be said that it was impossible. Night Sorrow had entered the half-step emperor realm, but he was still a step away from his goal. As long as he took one more step, he would have completed his goal and paved a bright path for future generations. Night Sorrow, you entered the Emperor realm. Did you break the shackles of the 9 domains world, or the shackles of the entire Chaos realm? Datura asked. I don't know. Everything in the heavenly Tao is fixed. As for the specific situation, it is hard to say. Night Sorrow shook his head. If it is the Chaos realm, then everything is easy. If it is only the 9 domains world, then everyone has to work hard. Datura said. Actually, it is nothing. The passage to the celestial realm has been opened. In the future, whoever wants to come to the celestial realm can. Whether or not they can achieve great success depends on themselves. Night Sorrow expressed his opinion. He did not think much about this matter. He could only help others pave the road, but he would not help others walk it. You are right. You have passed the passage between the Chaos realm and the celestial realm. The teleportation array has been successfully set up. There is no need to copy others. You have to rely on yourself. Datura nodded. After drinking 2 cups of wine, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. His original body stabilized in the Hautian godly pagoda, and his doppelganger cultivated the use of the Nihility domain in actual combat. After cultivating for 2 days, Night Sorrow went to the blood battle stage to challenge the heaven monarchs of the Guanyue prefecture. Last time, he was rejected again. Killing wasn't Yishang's goal in this challenge. Yishang's goal was to make everyone in the Guanyue prefecture anxious and make the Guanyue prefecture waver. There were only so many heaven monarchs. If this continued, the foundation of the Guanyue prefecture would be shaken. After issuing the challenge, Night Sorrow waited for the other party's reply. Ghost Monkey arrived at the Night Moon Manor. The moment Ghost Monkey sneaked into the Night Moon Manor, Night Sorrow appeared and brought him to the hall of the Night Moon Manor. Young master, it is like this. Today, when the heaven monarch of the Guanyue prefecture received your challenge, he went to ask Gong Yufan. He did not dare to accept. He wanted to know Gong Yufan's attitude. If he rejected the challenge, he wanted to hear it from Gong Yufan's mouth. At that time, this subordinate and Gong Xianyu were present, Ghost Monkey reported. Oh, what was Gong Yufan's attitude? Night Sorrow asked. He rejected. After Gong Yufan rejected the challenge, Gong Xianyu began to cause a ruckus. She said that if she could not conquer you, she would kill you. After that, Gong Xianyu slapped her and told her to behave. After being slapped, Gong Xianyu became even more restless. In desperation, Gong Yufan told us that he had hired someone to deal with young master. He said that young master would not live for long. Ghost Monkey bowed and said, "Hired someone? Then it must be an assassin. An assassin's most powerful base is the God Devil Castle. It seems like keeping you in the Guanyue prefecture was the right choice," Night Sorrow said after analyzing the situation. "Young master, you must be careful." This subordinate really did not know what kind of hidden cards he had. After I told him this, Gong Yufan chased us away, Ghost Monkey said. You're in good shape. It seems like you've mostly recovered from your previous loss. Here are some heaven spirit pills. Take them and cultivate your soul power. Also, that Gong Yufan is very scheming. You must be careful. If you feel that you're being suspected, withdraw. There's no need to take any risks. Night Sorrow took out 2 bottles of heaven spirit pills and gave them to Ghost Monkey. Then young master and madam should be careful. I'll take my leave now. Ghost Monkey bowed and left the Night Moon Manor. Night Sorrow, the pills you arranged are not bad. They're very effective. You can know the opponent's plans in advance. What do you plan to do next? Datura asked. It's fine. Normally, the God Devil Castle wouldn't accept missions related to me. However, we can't rule out the possibility. For example, Gong Yufan went to another God Devil Castle to do a mission. However, that doesn't matter. I'm not afraid of anyone below the Emperor realm. If anyone wants to kill me, they can come and try. I just didn't expect Gong Yufan to hate me so much that he would hire an assassin. Night Sorrow shook his head. Hee, that woman said she wanted to conquer you. If you hadn't rejected her back then, wouldn't everything have been fine? However, a woman who doesn't wear a tight belt isn't reliable, Datura said with a smile. Luo, what are you talking about? Night Sorrow smiled helplessly. At this moment, in a pavilion of the Night Moon Villa, Lin Xian brewed a pot of tea. Gong Yufan, you've always been good at scheming against others, but in the end, your trusted aide became someone else's spy. This can be considered as capsizing a boat in a ditch. When Ghost Monkey had snuck into the Night Moon Villa, Lin Xian had discovered him before Night Sorrow. She had been thinking about whether she should make a move and kill Ghost Monkey and throw him out when Night Sorrow had appeared. What happened next was also within her probing range. The last time Lin Xian had probed Night Sorrow, she had been discovered by Night Sorrow because her probing had been thorough. She had sent her soul force into Night Sorrow's body. If she hadn't purposely probed Night Sorrow wouldn't have discovered her. If she could be discovered with just a simple probing, then she wasn't worthy of being called the Ethereal Battle Empress. And NB says, here's the second update. Today, after sending my brother to the plane, I've been a little dazed for the past 2 days. During the day, I played with him, and at night, everyone slept while I wrote. I was really tired. Chapter 1628. Lin Xian'er was surprised that Knight Sorrow was able to control the heavenly monarchs around Gong Yufan and turn them into his trusted aides. Below the Emperor realm, the heavenly monarchs were revered. They were extremely arrogant, and it was much harder to subdue them than to kill them. If it wasn't for the evil spirit tormenting Ghost Monkey, he wouldn't have submitted to Knight Sorrow. As she sipped her tea, Lin Xian pondered over some matters. Originally, she had rarely asked about the matters of the Misty Dynasty. She hadn't even shown her face once in many years, but because of Yuan Ji's request, Yi Shang's situation had attracted her attention. Virtuous Grand Sage, there's still a long way to go. I'll let you take fewer detours. The Nihility Realm and the Nihility Realm are great. The appearance of such a supreme realm makes everything worth it. Lin Xian'er took a sip of tea and muttered softly. Knight Sorrow received news from Fu Wu that the heavenly monarchs of the moon-gazing mansion had refused to fight. This was all within Knight Sorrow's expectations. So be it. The rejection was recorded in the blood battle platform. Knight Sorrow also had a record. This was done by Hong Yi. Hong Yi had a record of all the heavenly monarchs that Knight Sorrow had challenged and rejected. After this round, it would be arranged for who to challenge. Ah Luo, do you think I should give the assassin a chance? If I don't go out, the assassin won't be able to make a move. Knight Sorrow said with a smile. That's true. No one dares to enter the Night Moon Mansion. No one dares to break the rules of the mansion given by the Ethereal Battle Emperor. Datura nodded. I haven't gone shopping with you in a long time, right? Let's go out tomorrow. Knight Sorrow looked at Datura and said. Datura sat beside Knight Sorrow and leaned on Knight Sorrow's shoulder. All right. Cultivating hard is a positive attitude, but it's not everything. Let's go shopping tomorrow. Reaching the peak of cultivation is my dream. This dream can allow the people around me to live a stable life. However, in the process, I've neglected you. Knight Sorrow reached out and hugged Datura's shoulder. Knight Sorrow, we sisters understand you. We also feel sorry for you. We just don't want to say it out loud and trouble you. Datura said. Yi Shang nodded. He could understand all of this and could also feel it. After cultivating for a night, Knight Sorrow and Datura went to the Celestial Master Pavilion. The business of the Celestial Master Pavilion was very good. The items they produced were all of high quality. The main thing was that the price was fair. Master Knight is here. This is the custom-made list. I plan to get Lu Yun to send it back later. Lin Mu took out a stack of lists and handed them to Knight Sorrow. All right, I'll take care of it and get someone to send it over. Knight Sorrow put away the custom-made list. During this period of time, Knight Sorrow didn't come to the Celestial Master Pavilion much. However, he refined all the custom-made pills and weapons. He had the Haotian Divine Pagoda that sped up time by 50 times. Refining some custom-made pills and weapons was extremely fast. After refining them, he would hand them over to Hong Yi. Hong Yi was in charge of some matters in the Celestial Master Pavilion, but she would return to Night Moon Villa every day. When Knight Sorrow and Datura were drinking tea by the waterside pavilion in the backyard of the Celestial Master Pavilion, Fatty Shen came. After Yuan Ji was stripped of his position as the great elder of the Ethereal Dynasty and chased out of the Ethereal Imperial City, Fatty Shen left Knight Sorrow's mansion and returned to his own restaurant. When he found that Knight Sorrow and Datura had arrived at the Celestial Master Pavilion, he brought wine and dishes over. Knight Sorrow, thank you for giving me a place to stay and helping me survive the crisis. If Master Knight needs any help in the future, Fatty Shen, will definitely not refuse. Fatty Shen said after pouring wine for Night Sorrow and Datura. You are too courteous. I do have something to ask you. It's like this. I have just arrived at the ethereal imperial dynasty and I plan to develop here. I have some Saint Spirit stones with me. What kind of business do you think I should do? Night Sorrow asked. Your situation is different from others. You don't lack Saint Spirit stones, but you lack resources and inheritances. Under such circumstances, doing traditional business will only earn you Saint Spirit stones. It won't be of much help to you. You are more suited to open a pawn shop. That way, people who lack Saint Spirit stones will take out treasures as collateral and borrow Saint Spirit stones. It will be good if you can pay it back, but if you can't, hee. You know what I mean. Fatty Shen said with a smile. Damn Fatty, you are too bad. You are an unscrupulous merchant. Datura looked at Fatty Shen with disdain. Madam Yi, I am Fatty Shen, not a damn fatty. Besides, how am I an unscrupulous merchant? We are both taking what we need and helping others in their emergency. Fatty Shen said. And then how about we open a large treasure hunting pavilion? The business should be wider and more complicated. For example, we can barter for high-end goods. We can also do the pawn shop business. We need to find a bigger shop and make a name for ourselves. Night Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Night Sorrow, can I be the shopkeeper for you? I like Saint Spirit stones. I like the feeling of making a lot of money doing business. Fatty Shen said. Okay, then let's find a shop first and start the business. Fatty, I am an outsider. What I lack is a foundation and high-end resources. When the time comes, you can follow this direction. Night Sorrow told Fatty Shen his requirements. I understand, and I also understand. You can get the extra goods that you don't need. This way, the shop will have treasures to attract more customers. You can also barter for high-end goods. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, Fatty Shen understood Night Sorrow's thoughts. Night Sorrow and Datura followed Fatty Shen to the most prosperous Jade Sky Street in ethereal Imperial City. This was the main street in front of the City Lord's mansion. Every inch of land here is worth its weight in gold. If I didn't know that your family was rich, I wouldn't have dared to bring you here. Let's see if there is a suitable place first. Fatty Shen, who was sitting in front of the beast carriage, turned around and said. I am not familiar with this place. You can make the arrangements. Night Sorrow said. At most 3% of the new chapter, Night Sorrow, I haven't been to the City Lord's mansion. Let's go take a look. Datura was more interested. Night Sorrow nodded. He also wanted to take a look. At this moment, in the City Lord's mansion, Lin Xian, who was wearing a veil, was sitting on the main seat. Below her were the 6 elders of the City Lord's mansion and on her right were the 7 mansion lords. There were originally 7 elders, but at this moment, the first chair on the left was empty. That was originally the seat of the great elder, Yuan Ji. Yuan Ji was chased out of Ethereal City by Tsang Ning, so the great elder's seat was empty. Today, I will say 2 things. First, you are all the face of Ethereal Imperial City. Do more things that will bring glory to the Ethereal Imperial City. Do less things that are not worth it. I can't afford to lose face. Lin Xian said. Hearing Lin Xian's words, the 13 people in the main hall stood up and accepted the order. They knew that Yuan Ji's matter had angered Lin Xian. Second, issue the evil punishing mission. This time, not only will the City Lord's mansion's men take action, but also some rogue cultivators. Those who perform well can be recruited into the City Lord's mansion. Lin Xian said. My lady, isn't there still some time before the evil punishing sect opens? Isn't it a little too early to issue it now? Tsang Ning asked. Recently, there has been some turmoil in Ethereal Imperial City. I want to accumulate some luck and merit, so it will open soon. Lin Xian said. Chapter 1629. Yes, Your Majesty. Sung Ning and the others bowed. All right, then go and make the arrangements. Make sure everything is arranged properly. Lin Xian waved her hand. %GC/U Original Edition, Chapter N. When Sung Ning came out of the mansion, he found Knight Sorrow admiring the majestic architecture of the mansion. Smiling, Sung Ning went to Knight Sorrow's beast carriage. Boss Knight, why are you in such a good mood today? Are you out for a walk? Boss Tsang, you must be joking. I came out to look for a suitable shop to do business. Luo said he hadn't been to the city lord's mansion before. I haven't been there either, so I came to take a look, Yi Shang greeted. There are a few shops on Jade Sky Street. They used to belong to the Yuan family, but after they were expelled, the mansion took them back. Let's go and take a look. If there is a suitable one, we will take it. Sung Ning said. Then, the group strolled around Jade Sky Street, looking at a few shops. However, Knight Sorrow did not feel anything. After an hour, Knight Sorrow saw a place he was satisfied with. It was a luxurious 3-story building. What do you guys think? Knight Sorrow asked. Good taste. This place is not far from the blood battle arena. It is a place with more cultivators. It is very suitable for doing business. Sung Ning said. I also think it is good. Luo, Fatty Shen, what do you think? Knight Sorrow looked at Datura and Fatty Shen and asked. Very impressive. The location is also good. Datura nodded. This place is good, but the price will not be low. Fatty Shen said. The price is not a problem. Let's go take a look. Sung Ning got off the beast carriage. The shop was not open for business, but it was guarded by the mansion's guards. Seeing Sung Ning's arrival, the 2 city lords' mansion's guards bowed in greeting their lord. Who is in charge of the shop here? Sung Ning asked. Sir, Elder Iron is in charge here. We are just here to make sure it is not damaged. One of the guards bowed and said. The guards of the mansion naturally knew Sung Ning and his identity. Do you know the prices here? Sung Ning asked. I do. Elder Tai's price for this 3-story shop is 5 million Saint Spirit stones, said the guard. Sung Ning nodded. All right. Go ahead. 5 million is still acceptable, Knight Sorrow said. All right, let's go to the city lord's mansion to look for Elder Tai Lao. He's in charge of these matters. By the way, can you let others invest in your new store? Sung Ning asked after getting on the beast carriage. Sure. Is Old Man Sung interested? Knight Sorrow asked. Forget about me, but let me introduce you to someone. He's a Formation Dao Emperor's teacher and a Crafting Dao Emperor's teacher. What do you think? Sung Ning said with a smile. Such a person can partner with me? Even if you partner up with me, I can't afford it. Knight Sorrow was stunned for a moment before shaking his head. I know your bottom line. I'll take care of it. Also, I have something to tell you. Sung Ning looked at Knight Sorrow with a serious expression. Please speak, Boss Tsang. Knight Sorrow could tell that Sung Ning had something important to say. Today, Lord Battle Emperor gathered 7 mansion lords and 7 elders. There used to be 7 elders, but now there are only 6, Knight Sorrow said. There are so many Emperor Realm cultivators in the Ethereal Dynasty? Knight Sorrow sighed. No. The elders are in charge of management. They aren't that strong. Apart from that shameless Yuan Ji, there are 2 Emperor Realm elders. The rest of the elders might not be as strong as you, but they're all loyal to Lord Battle Emperor. They're more capable followers in other aspects. This time, Lord Battle Emperor told us to open the Evil Punisher Gate early, Sung Ning said. What's the Evil Punisher Gate? Knight Sorrow asked, puzzled. To be precise, the Evil Punisher Gate is an alternate dimension. It's also a land of treasures. No matter what, it's a land of treasures. It's a place where one can obtain the blessing of fortune. That's why Lord War Emperor established the Ethereal Dynasty here. It's so that the cultivators of the Ethereal Dynasty can obtain the blessing of fortune. The Ethereal Dynasty also has the blessing of fortune. Please continue, Boss Tsang. Knight Sorrow was more interested. If one could obtain providence, they would be blessed by the heavenly Tao. To ordinary cultivators, they would obtain providence, but to cultivators with the body of merit, they would obtain merit. There are some things that I don't understand. This alternate dimension was created by the previous experts on the celestial demon ranking. But they didn't succeed. Instead, the evil chi of heaven and earth gathered here. That's why it became a land of demons, connected to the demon world, Tsang Ning explained to Knight Sorrow. Then, Tsang Ning told Knight Sorrow some things. The bottleneck of the Emperor realm was very difficult. If one didn't have the opportunity or the strength, they wouldn't be able to break through. That's why many cultivators used unconventional methods to reincarnate and cultivate again. For example, if an Emperor realm expert couldn't break through to the Emperor realm but was unwilling to give up, he could use other methods. He could split his soul power into two and make a seal with the original body. He would seal his soul and put a part of his soul power into the Yellow Spring River. Then, he would be purified and reincarnate, obtaining some potential and opportunities that he didn't have in this life. If he succeeded, the clone and the original body could be stacked. He might be able to prove his Tao through strength. But there was also a possibility that this part of his soul would be completely destroyed because this was an unknown path. Does the heavenly Tao allow this? I heard that there was a cultivator in our realm who did this in the past, but he was killed by the lightning tribulation, Knight Sorrow said. There is a lightning tribulation. But peak Emperor realm cultivators always have some tricks up their sleeves. The Evil Punisher Gate is related to this. There is the Yellow Spring River in the Evil Punisher Gate. It's a rather special section that purifies the reincarnated soul. After purifying the reincarnated soul, there would be all kinds of negative aura and negative energy. These negative energies are the most harmful to the origin of heaven and earth. That's why our ethereal empire opens it up once every 10 million years. Normally, only the city lord residence's men can enter. But this time, Lord Battle Emperor announced that it's open to the public, Tsang Ning said. Open to the public? I have to think about this matter, Knight Sorrow thought for a moment and said. The celestial realm is a very mystical place. Some unparalleled experts would leave behind some extraordinary methods. Because a battle could happen at any time, no one could guarantee that they wouldn't fall. Therefore, they would arrange some escape routes. Some worlds are their escape routes. Their methods are all different. No one knows the specific methods. The Evil Punisher Gate was once an evil expert's escape route. According to legends, he obtained the origin of the world after the Great Calamity. He then placed the origin of the world and left a soul mark in it. This way, as long as the new world didn't perish, he wouldn't perish, Knight Sorrow said. Isn't that the Realm Lord? Knight Sorrow asked in astonishment. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.